Very interesting. And we said at the very top of the show, the way Bournemouth play with a high press and the way Southampton play, trying to play it out from the back. Well, one of them is going to win the day with this one, as Russell Martin just appears out of the tunnel with his jacket in his hand. Him saying there, Danny, that the reward for playing out from the back far outweighs the risk of playing out from the back. That's what their managerial journey has taught him so far. Can he still take that? We're talking about League One and Championship here. Can he take that into the Premier League and survive?
I don't think so. I think it's about balance. I understand the risk and reward argument, but are they scoring lots of goals and causing teams lots of problems? I suggest not. They've had a few good moments in games, but overall they've struggled to score and make loads of chances and dominate teams, really. So it's finding a balance. Look, as I said earlier, it's all well and good having a philosophy to try and play some good football and give the players belief in themselves. I don't mind. But there's times in the game where the players, with the manager's guidance, have to have a plan B and have to understand. Brentford was the game that was the game where it was just beyond belief that they continued to let the same things happen and end up losing the game because of it. Brentford are great on a press, aren't they? So that's where the criticism I gave stemmed from, because I didn't see them try and change or make any decision in-game management that affected the game in a positive way. I think even if he went more pragmatic, they're still going to have a problem in scoring goals. But for me, to survive in the Premier League, first and foremost, you get the foundation right, which is being damn hard to beat, like Ipswich.
Well, I don't think he's going to change. He's just going over to the fans. They love him still at this moment in time because they're happy their team has got an identity. It's not like they're mixing and matching and scrabbling around for ideas. They've got an identity. It just isn't getting wins at the moment. You know his big catchphrase is? He's always been asked by media and fans.
If you see it, say it.
No. Say what you see. Which is what you do, Danny.
Yeah.
But he said, when asked about having a plan B, he said, I haven't got a plan B, but actually plan B is just to make plan A better. This is an incredibly stubborn man who will either be relegated or survive with those beliefs.
You have to admire belief, I think, sometimes, and then other times when you fail, you look back and think maybe I should have had a plan B. Some people say if you have a plan B, then your plan A wasn't good enough. But there's loads of ways of looking at it. The fact is, in this league, you have to be really good at both ends of the pitch. And at the moment, Southampton are inviting pressure on themselves by overplaying. That's the simple thing I see. Mix it up a bit, stay in the game early. You can be pragmatic for times in the game, and then play your stuff when it opens up a bit.
Well, teams are out and they're shaking hands right in front of us tomorrow. Arsenal PSG, we've got live from the Champions League on Talksport. Slovan Bratislava Man City is on Talksport too. Wednesday night on Talksport it's Aston Villa Bayern Munich with Liverpool Bologna on Talksport too. What a big night of European football tomorrow and on Wednesday. But it's Premier League tonight. Southampton picked up their first point of the season last weekend. Win this and they're a point behind tonight's host Bournemouth. It's live on game night with former England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside your commentator on Talksport, Sam Matterface.
Well, some managers and coaches tell you they have a plan, but with some you can see it. No one is pretending that it always works, and there aren't flaws in the systems employed by Andoni Iraola and Russell Martin, but everyone, the fans, the board, and most importantly the players, know what they are trying to do. Iraola's team won the ball back through high pressure better and more often than anyone in the Premier League last season. Southampton built from the back, dominate possession in such a manner that even when it was failing, they persisted last season and went on a 25-match club record-setting unbeaten run. Whatever the pitfalls, it might be the lack of higher calibre strikers or defenders who might be a little bit more comfortable following these instructions at a lower level. The styles, the plans, the approach is defined and it is recognisable. But Southampton are yet to win, and Bournemouth have won just once. And they were second best for the 87 minutes that they played in that game before they come up with an amazing comeback. Style is great, but now they need substance. Tonight, Bournemouth in black and red striped shirts with black shorts and black socks will take on Southampton in lemon yellow tops with navy trim, navy shorts and yellow socks. They'll shoot from right to left in this first half, Bournemouth from left to right. The referee Michael Oliver and VAR Paul Tierney. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second. You know that you've hit the right app, though, on your phone when this comes out of the speaker. Arsenal PSG in the Champions League Tuesday. Villa Bayern Munich on Wednesday. The latest episode of the never-ending Manchester United drama on Thursday. Sunderland Leeds on Friday. Liverpool at Palace Saturday. And that's just the half of it. You know where the football is, and we're delighted to share it with you. This is Talksport. This is Monday Night Football. And we are live at the Vitality Stadium on the south coast in Bournemouth, ready for a game between two teams that are separated by just 32.5 miles. And we're delighted to share Monday nights with Danny Murphy. Two teams with thoughtful managers, and as a thinker of some repute yourself, can you map out what's going to happen today?
Well, I think it'll be a good tempo game. Big stakes for both teams. For Southampton, of course, getting the first win would be great for confidence, give everybody a lift. And for Bournemouth, a second win for them with the draws they've had would put them in a comfortable position and keep everyone calm with the difficult fixtures they've got coming up. So I expect a high tempo, really good game to watch.
There's that playing out from the back that the Russell Martin's team do all the time. Straight back from the kick-off to Aaron Ramsdale, who sends a long ball high up into opposition territory.
Early in the game.
It goes out right by the corner flag.
Perfect.
I'll go through the 2-11s. Kepa Arrizabalaga is the goalkeeper for Bournemouth. The back four: Smith, Zabani, Senesi and Kirkesh. Cook and Christie are the heart of midfield. Actually, it's Tavernier who's gone into the number 10 position, with Semenyo on the right and Ouattara out on the left, and through the middle, Evan Nielsen.
Just done it again there, Ramsdale. Really good to see.
Here is Bednarek. Of course, he knows that there's going to be high pressure from Bournemouth, and his distribution skills are very, very good. Fernandes flicks it on up towards the halfway line. It comes back via Smith to Semenyo, who gets his feet a little bit confused, and Flynn Downs pinches it, runs out to the right side, and Southampton come on the attack. Over on the far side, the Writers, they look at it, where it is picked up by Ugochukwu and then sent out towards the right-hand side. And Sugawara getting it up out towards that right area, and then it goes out to eventually this near side where Fernandes picks it up. Interesting to try and work out exactly how Southampton are playing, because they've got Ramsdale in goal. The back four looks like there's Sugawara with Bednarek and Harwood Bellis as the two centre-halves. Taylor at left-back. The right side is Cornet, the left side occupied by Fraser. Ugochukwu in the centre alongside Downs, and then Dibbling and Fernandes as two number 10s, and Dibbling trying to dribble his way into the box now from the right side of the area, gets into the box and flicks it off the defender, and it's cleared away by Adam Smith on this near side, the right.
Picked it up in a great little spot there, Dibbling, on the corner of the box. Good bit of skill initially, and they got nearly got the shot in. It was a good block, but he's going to drop in and play as a false 9. Him and Fernandes there, maybe two 10s really.
Yeah, I think that's what it'll be like, because
and then you'll get the pacing behind. They'll hope from the wide men, of course.
Fernandes, who they acquired from Sporting for around about 15-20 million pounds in the summer, a Portuguese under-21s international. He's got great technical ability. He's all action number 8 really, but he does get up and score goals, and he is going to play up alongside Dibbling in the sort of 9.5 position. Bournemouth will feel they should have got more from both their previous games here. They outshot Chelsea, missed the penalty, were on top for large portions of their match, and were denied a victory over Newcastle after a VAR intervention. Dibbling trying to bring the ball out from the right side as from a throw-in in the right full-back position. Southampton look to clear and get up the pitch. Ramsdale goes short this time as it goes back to him, and then Sugawara plays it infield to Flynn Downs. Immediately he's got black and red shirts around him. Harwood Bellis forward, the flick on by Fernandes, and then it's picked up by Fraser, who's not the most popular in these parts. He was once an employee of the Cherries, fell out with Eddie Howe, and then went up to Newcastle, got away, and then found himself with Eddie Howe once again. And I think there was one time when they hadn't used him for such a long time, and then brought him back out from the cold just to sit on the bench at Bournemouth and get booed. Here's Ugochukwu moving into the area, gets it back towards the edge of the box, and Cornet's finish takes a deflection off of I think it was Senesi who was getting back there, and it's popped behind and away for a corner. The first real opportunity of the game goes to Southampton.
Brilliant play from Ugachukwu down that left-hand side, bursting out from central midfield. Cook couldn't match him. Could not match the physical power, the pace, the determination to get in there.
Leslie Ugachukwu, who's on loan from Chelsea. They acquired him from French football last year. He is absolutely huge. Big imposing central midfield player who's just peeled away to the back post as this first corner comes in, which Cornet will take. Left footed in towards the near post when it was sliding through the box and it was missed by Arida Balaga, who did not take charge of that. Evan Nilsson says it came off him after it had gone over the line, but it's going out for another corner. Well, I think it did just hit him before it went out of play, but it was very close because it was going towards that near post. Another one from Cornet from the far side. 4 minutes played on Talksport, 0-0 down at the Vitality Stadium. Southampton on the attack, left-footed ball in towards the middle of the penalty area, and there was a bit of pushing and shoving going on. And eventually Semenyo had headed the ball away, but Ryan Christie had already been bundled to the floor, and that's going to be a free kick inside their own penalty area away to our left-hand side. So 0-0, a lively start from Southampton.
It's been a good start from Southampton, mixing the game up. Gone long a couple of times, then they played through the lines quite nicely there to get that show.
And they've won it high up, almost. Fernandez putting pressure on Arida Balaga. Ugachukwu takes it down the right side, then comes back infield. He didn't quite get the pass right, and maybe should have pushed it out to Cornet. Had made a good run into the right wing position, but Southampton almost beating Bournemouth at their own game there. Here's Semenyo at the other end as Bournemouth now look to respond. Semenyo gets towards the edge of the penalty area. Poor touch by him. It allowed Charlie Taylor to nab it. And now Dibbling's picked it up in a deep midfield position. He's run through the centre circle and then down the outside of it on the right. He goes into the middle of the box. He tries to... Well, he goes down under pressure from Zabarnyi. And it's away up to the halfway line for Bournemouth. But that was an amazing dribble from Tyler Dibbling, who Michael Oliver says went down just a little bit too cheaply.
Sloppy from Bournemouth. Also, Semenyo twice given the ball away with poor touches, not like him.
0-0. Southampton were on the road to victory against Ipswich before Sam Morse's deflected effort in stoppage time frustrated them 8 days ago. Tonight they look up and at it. Here is Smith towards the edge of the penalty area of the right wing cross, which is blocked and cleared by Harwood Bellis, and he did so with a collision with Evan Nilsson. It's going to be a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. And before we go any further, by the way, I think I should point out that this is not a derby, despite what some people are saying. I know there's only 35 miles between them, but there's only one South Coast derby. That's the game between Portsmouth and Southampton. Yeah. There is a rivalry between these two, but it's more where Bournemouth sort of glance at Southampton, although I don't think Saints took too well to Bournemouth effectively relegating them 18 months ago. But really, it's a rivalry and no more than that. It might be one that grows over time. That's a shaky back pass towards his own goal by the defender, which was Kirkes. Arida Balaga then had to try and clear a really spicy ball, and then he only got it as far away as Dibbling, whose effort then came back at him, and it was an easy catch.
Really sloppy start from Bournemouth, all over the place, giving the ball away, poor touches, kicking it out of play like that just then. Really not out of the races at all. Credit to Southampton, really on it, nice and sharp.
Well, they haven't got what they expected, have they? I mean, Southampton are not dominating possession and having the ball deep inside their own half and playing around with it. They're getting it up the pitch, forward, into opposition territory and harassing from up there. Varying the game, something that you've been talking about quite publicly.
Which is, it's put them on the front foot, hasn't it? That's a
absolutely
good ball.
Good ball out to Tavernier, which is not going to reach this time. It goes out of play and away for a throw in the left full-back area for Southampton. Iriola's tactical approach really centres around sort of aggressive high pressing, but if the ball's not in that area, then they've got to have something else about them, haven't they?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You try and mess up the other team's plan. You try and mix it up yourself while having a philosophy is fine. There's 10-20 minutes in games where you can change it up. I'm just watching Russell Martin for the first, 10 minutes in? Yeah. He kicks every ball, heads every ball.
Yeah, 9 minutes gone. Russell Martin in his rather sort of a casual sort of half tracksuit, half shacket suit, isn't it?
think they're more a pair of chinos, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah,
sure. I saw him in the hotel earlier on. They looked a little bit more casual than chinos. Only because I've got a similar outfit and I recognised it.
All right, well, well, let's not go into clothes. Come on.
Just saying.
Can't talk clothes with you.
Some people... Well, you can't.
Hey!
Some people can't see what we can see, Danny, with their eyes and their ears tonight here on the...
I think he looks quite smart.
He does, absolutely. He pulls it off. He's a bit of a fashionista. It's Ramsdale playing the ball into midfield. Ugochukwu gets it back to Harwood Bellis. Danny's in playful mood tonight. 9 minutes
said a word.
0-0. We're under the lights at Bournemouth's Vitality Stadium, a small, quaint little arena down on the south coast. All four one-tiered stands, all independent from one another. They're not conjoined. There's gaps in each of the corners. They're all quite small, none more than 25 rows going back. We're in about the 10th row back from the touchline, just right at the halfway line. And we are very close to the action here. If we took one of the grapes out of Adrian's pot, we could probably throw it at Ryan Fraser, who's not too far away from us. The ball is pushed forward by Senesi into Christie. A bit of space for him. He tried to clip the ball forward, but he was challenged by Flynn Downs, who did a good enough job to stop him from being able to be effective with that pass forward, and it bobbles into the arms of Ramsdale.
Tell you what, that was a brilliant interception from Flynn Downs, getting back in on Christie, because I thought he was in for a second.
He's hurt himself in the process, yeah. He's going to have to get some treatment down in front of us as a result of that. He was coming from behind as well, so it was a difficult execution.
Well, he had to be really careful. We're fortunate enough to see on the replay there. Great little foot in.
Well, Bournemouth go up above Manchester United and Brentford with a win here, and up into 11th tonight. Southampton can climb out of the bottom three and go above Everton to within a point of Bournemouth if they get a victory. And Saints usually love this fixture. They're unbeaten in 6 trips to Bournemouth, dating back to March 2016. And they haven't conceded a goal, Southampton, since Ryan Fraser, who's now in their team, scored for Bournemouth against them in 2017 here. 0-0, 11 gone. We're back underway. Treatment has been had, and Ramsdale is playing out. Short this time towards Bednarek, who recklessly plays the ball near side. Cut out by Semenyo. Goes back to Ramsdale. Doesn't take any chances this time, and chips it up over the halfway line. One by Zabani, but then returned by Ugochukwu, and then picked up by Fernandez in midfield. He takes it down the left side, comes back into the middle of the park, and Downs has got it for Southampton. He sweeps it out towards the far side. Sugawara onto Maxwell Cornet. Cornet tied to the touchline far side, looks up, plays it infield. It's received by Downs with his back to goal, and he travels back to the halfway line, and Southampton retain possession, 0-0.
It's interesting watching the two central midfielders for Bournemouth try and go after the two central midfield players.
Well, that's Bednarek again. I mean, I don't mind you playing out from the back, but probably just don't give it to him, because Ramsdale's better on the ball than he is. A lovely little Cruyff turn by the goalkeeper to send it clear and up towards the halfway line.
Did well with that, Ramsdale.
Did brilliantly with it after Bednarek putting in all sorts of dodge.
Yeah, I was just talking about because the Bournemouth lads are trying to press, that the little position Fernandez and Dibbling are taking up, they're dropping off the centre half, trying to entice them into there so the wide men can run in. And the centre halves have avoided that temptation at the moment, but that's an obvious plan. I quite like it.
Ouattara, high foot, going in after a ball had been sent long out towards the left-hand side. He jumped up, stretched out his right foot too high into the body of Flynn Downs. It's going to be a free kick 10 yards in front of the penalty area away to our right, that Southampton are defending in those lemon shirts with dark blue shorts. Into Dibbling it goes in the centre circle. Couldn't hold on to it. Tackled by Senesi, and then it goes out towards the far side. Back into Senesi again, and then across to Adam Smith, and then he tries to find Lewis Cook. It's a poor pass by Adam Smith, goes straight out of play, and it's going to be a Southampton throw-in on this near side.
Sums up their first 14 minutes, that. Not put anything together, look a bit unsure of themselves on the ball, especially. Credit to Southampton, he's in it.
Oh, Diblin's in behind him. He's gone beyond Senesi, and then he's gone round him and then drawn the foul, but again gone down a little bit too cheaply, according to the assistant on the far side and the referee Michael Oliver. And I just wonder whether or not he could have kept going there, Danny, rather than have gone down, because I thought for a minute he was in.
That's what I'm talking about. See how he followed him in, really into a midfield area, and then he spun him. I think he got away with it there.
Foul for you, or?
I wouldn't have been surprised. I mean, it was contact for sure.
Interesting. That's a couple of times now he's gone down.
Yeah.
The referee hasn't given it. I wonder if they're sort of alert to something that we're not. Ouattara out towards the right side. Always a poor ball out to Semenyo. Has to scurry to the touchline to try and retrieve it. Back in by Smith. Deep ball towards the far post. It's away by Sugawara. Evan Nilsson was in there but was never going to receive it. Christie putting pressure on. Free kick against him. And Cornet wins the free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box. 0-0. Live on Talksport. And we're with Sky Sports tonight. Don't forget that you can stream more Sky Sports football than ever before. Available with no contract on now, like Bournemouth versus Southampton, live right now. Search Now Sports. Southampton playing out from the back. Danny's nerves getting frayed. But
great touch from Dibbling when he got it played into his feet there. Senesi had followed him again all the way in, leaving wide open spaces. High risk for Bournemouth doing that.
And they followed him again, and this time when Downs tries to get beyond Senesi, it popped up and hit his arm, and that's a free kick that is given just left of the centre circle, about 20 yards inside Southampton territory. It might have stolen 1 or 2 yards there. Bournemouth as they look to take a free kick. Arsenal PSG tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time over on Talksport 2. We've got Slovan Bratislava against Manchester City. Aston Villa against Bayern Munich and Liverpool Bologna on Wednesday night. This is the place to be for your live football. It's almost every day at this moment in time. We've got so much, we've had to make sure that we've got another radio station to pack with it. Ball delivered towards the far post. Semenyo keeps it in just about. Was he offside there, Semenyo? I think he was, according to the assistant on this near.
I don't know how he's offside from an out-swinging free kick. It's bizarre. He shouldn't be if he is, and also he should be getting in there. That's a wonderful ball in. Brilliant ball. You've got to be attacking. He won't be pleased. We can see Areola in the stand on the cameras. I know our listeners obviously can't, but he looks a little bit perplexed at his side start to this game, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, Tommy Elphick and Sean Cooper on the touchline today, taking charge of the situation because Iraola is banned after picking up 3 yellow cards. He is serving a touchline ban. A good ball in towards Evan Nilsson, a long touch past the goalkeeper. Quick free kick, chipped over the top. Southampton had switched off, Evan Nilsson had not. And as it came over his shoulder and into the penalty area from the right side, the Brazilian poked out a left foot and steered it beyond Ramsdale. And Bournemouth, after not starting well at all, have taken the lead.
Well, let me tell you about 3 well-dones here. Well done to the finish from Evan Nilsson. Brilliant. Well done to the pass from Tavernier. Absolutely outstanding bit of creative play and quick thinking. And well done, Michael Oliver. Because not many refs would let this go. It's a brilliant bit of refereeing, and I know we're always quick to criticise. That's what free kicks are for, so you can get on and play when the ball's still. Yes, a bit naive from Southampton, turning their back. Never want to see that. But what a brilliant bit of quick thinking from Tavernier, and what a great finish from Evan Nilsson.
Semenyo went down, the free kick was given.
Still down.
Tavernier got on with it so quickly that Southampton just hadn't switched on. It went over the top from the right side at a 45-degree angle, the ball into the box, and Evan Nilsson was switched on, and he tapped it past the goalkeeper. His first goal in cherry red and black, and Bournemouth lead by 1-0. And Evan Nilsson the goal scorer.
You won't see many better passes than that. And you know what I love about it as well? Nobody expected it, apart from Evan Nilsson, so they've obviously talked about it. It's something you do with strikers.
How gutted will Russell Martin be that his team has started in such a good style, really?
They've got to keep going. They've started the game well.
And then ended up going behind to Bournemouth, who lead by 1-0. Live on Talksport tonight, the goal from Evan Nilsson coming after just 17 minutes of the encounter down on the south coast. Here is Christie trying to bundle his way through. Dibbling this time is penalised for bringing him down. They wanted to do it again, then Tavernier went to go and pick up the ball.
Well, what he will be disappointed with Russell Martin, I nearly said Chris Martin then. I'm getting carried away. Russell Martin will be really disappointed with how many players turned their back then when Semenyo was on the floor and the free kick was being taken. There was 2 players in front with their back to the ball.
Yeah.
And at this level, you get done.
It is Russell Martin, not Chris Martin.
I know that.
But that was a cold play by Bournemouth.
Oh, brilliant.
Ball into the box towards the far post, headed away by Harwood Bellis, and then picked up by Fernandez, who twists away from Christie. And then the challenge will come in here from Charlie Taylor. They wanted a free kick because Christie had been a little bit aggressive with Fernandez, but the referee wasn't going to give it. Smith wants to join the fray and bring the ball forward on this right side. He takes a throw, sends it square. It's picked up by Christie, harassed by Fernandez. He goes back to the halfway line. Bournemouth lead by a goal to nil. You're listening to Talksport. Here is Senesi out to the far side. Gives it to Kirkesh. The Hungarian sends it back to Senesi, and then Zabani all the way out towards the near touchline, and Smith in a deep right full-back position. Cook switches it over the top, looking for Evan Nilsson, who's pushed in the back by Harwood Bellis. Free kick given.
Didn't need to.
And again, look at Tavernier straight on the ball, wants to play straight away because he knows that Southampton just a little bit sloppy in getting back into position, and that was the case there.
But Harwood Bellis is such a big lad. He was winning the header comfortably without having to push him over. You just don't want to give stupid free kicks away with the quality Tavernier's got.
Taylor heading the ball back to his goalkeeper, and Ramsdale's got it once more.
Some finish though, wasn't it?
It was
Clever
a really
finish.
good finish,
yeah,
because he was stretching as well, and he poked it beautifully past Aaron Ramsdale. And I think the quickness even sort of surprised the England goalkeeper too.
Well, I thought he got himself in a good position.
Yeah, he did.
He come out nicely. He made him take it early because of how sharp he was off his line, but it was a brilliant connection.
Senesi takes it on, clips it down the left. Ouattara chasing after it. Harwood Bellis is there for company. A decent ball to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Tavernier can't get there. And it's away by Taylor, who's covering in from left back, and Tavernier and Ramsdale share a smile. That was another chance for Bournemouth.
I've got to say, brilliant cross, but Semenya has to be there. When you get one winger down one side, the other one has got to be in the middle of the box for those crosses. He's too far out. He's got to break his neck to get in there and get that tap in.
21 gone. Bournemouth lead by a goal to nil. It's in towards the near post, flicked on by Christie. Comes off an arm, I thought, and then it was cleared away by Maxwell Cornet over on the far side. Zabani takes it out of the sky. The pressure is still on from Bournemouth. They go back down the left, and it's collected by Ouattara. Cornet comes across, but he's joined by Kirkesh. He's crossing to the box. He's too close to the near post, and it's clutched by Ramsdale, who stretches his arms up into the sky and then bowls it out on this near side. You're listening to Premier League football live on a Monday night under the lights on the south coast of England, where Bournemouth lead Southampton by a goal to nil. The goal coming from Evan Nilsson, their new £40 million signing from Porto in the summer, his first goal in English football, and it was a goal crafted by Marcus Tavernier, and they lead by that strike as we approach the 22nd minute mark. Here's Fernandez, harassed by Cook. That was a little bit late from Cook on Ryan Fraser, and as a result of that, the referee eventually blows the whistle and gives the free kick in favour of the away side.
Great ball from Ramsdale to get Southampton out there. Fraser trying to stitch Cook up there with his reaction. We see that far too often. Nothing in that. No shock. He's up and about. Cook protesting his innocence to Michael Oliver. I found it funny actually watching the Tottenham United game. Maddison, who I love obviously as a player, but he's gone down with the tackle from Fernandez like he's really hurt. He obviously isn't. But then he gets up and says, no, it wasn't a red. You know, thanks mate, cheers. We see it, don't we, week in, week out.
Yeah.
You'll have to do more than that to trick Michael Oliver. He's a wily old fox.
I don't think Chris Kavanagh made a mistake with that yesterday, by the way. I think
no, VAR did.
I think after looking at the slip, I think you could make a case to turn round and say that because of the slip, it wasn't a red card. But
no, and he didn't get it with his studs. He actually got him with the side of his foot, didn't he? The heel and the side of his foot.
But so I think the initial decision was the right one.
Yeah, it looked it. Yeah. But then, yeah. Anyway, we digress. 23 minutes gone. You're listening to... It's been a good start.
Bournemouth against Southampton. It has been a good start. There's been... we said a clash of styles. It's been completely different to what I expected. Yeah. But I think a couple of real big tactical things have been noticeable from the off, and that is that Southampton are quite happy to kick long and try and build further up the pitch. They do look as if they lack a little bit of something in the top area of the pitch without a striker.
Yeah.
And I wonder how long it'll be before we see Ben Brereton Diaz or someone like that to come and help out Fernandez or Dibbling. And the other thing is the quickness of play which Bournemouth are showing, and they're on another fast break, and they're so good at those. Ouattara are outnumbered here. Southampton into the penalty area, goes down the outside on the left, tries to produce a cross. Across comes Harwood Bellis and does very well to play it off Ouattara and out for a goal kick. But as that ball was turned over, Danny, there were many more Bournemouth shirts flooding forward than there were Southampton ones scurrying back.
Yeah, it was a great counter attack. What you've got for Bournemouth is two wingers who are really quick, and the fullbacks for Southampton are struggling with that.
They are.
It was a waste, though. It was a waste.
It was a bit.
They
of a
had
waste,
an overload, didn't they? Yeah.
They should have used the extra number that they had.
Took too many touches.
Yeah, they're the fastest, second fastest for direct speed last year. And they have the most fast breaks and most shots from fast breaks in the Premier League than anyone from the start of last season. They are incredibly speedy once the ball is turned over.
Brilliant, Christie.
He's just taken the ball just outside his own penalty area. He's a good ball-playing midfield player. He's taken it towards the left-hand side. There was a challenge on him. He drew that challenge, won the free kick, took the pressure off his defence.
Brilliant tracking, though, because Diblin had gone past two already. Tyler Diblin getting on the ball, moving past people. Christie doing his work. That's what you've got to do in central midfield sometimes. You've got to get back in and help your defence out, because he's got wonderful dribbling ability, this young boy.
1-0. Bournemouth's goal coming from Emma Nilsson. And the first strike in the South Coast clash came from the boot of a Brazilian. He's putting himself about a bit over on the far side. And just collides with Sugawara. The ball spills behind. It's out for a throw-in to Southampton in the right full-back position. Bournemouth made a good start against Liverpool. They had a goal disallowed, and then Liverpool took control of the match, but Kepa Arrizabalaga didn't half give them a helping hand. Made a few mistakes in that game.
See, the thing is with Fernandes and Diblin dropping in, it does leave Fraser isolated one-on-one with Smith, but I think Smith's more than capable of matching him for pace, so
we might find out. Here is Fraser on this near side, picking the ball up, playing it into Charlie Taylor. Now Ugochukwu takes over. He's in the centre of midfield, just left of centre now, as he travels with the ball out towards this near side. Bednarek takes it back on the edge of the penalty area, and then Flynn Downs in the centre of midfield, just short of the centre circle, into Ugochukwu. Then Flynn Downs again, slender and blonde, plays it up towards Dibbling, and Dibbling couldn't take that pass, and this time it ricochets, and Tavernier picks it up and shoots down the throat of Ramsdale, and it was moving, and he only managed to parry there, the Southampton goalkeeper, and then catch it at the second attempt. But that was a quick turnover and a fast shot.
Yeah, Diblin lost the ball there. It was fired in at him, to be honest, and Tavernier, we know what a great striker of the ball he is. Worth the dig from there, absolutely. Did well, Ramsdale. Yeah,
it moved, didn't it, right at the very last. It was going towards the right. It just came back a little bit, and he had to readjust his hands, and he did that. Ball played up towards the halfway line. Dibbling in a wrestling match with Senesi. Are you sure that putting Tyler Dibbling in a position where he is going to end up being...
He's back to goal.
He's back to goal, yes, and also wrestling with big, strong centre-halves, he's only 18, is the right position for him?
Not when you've got the options you've got on the bench as forwards. I'd have kept him where he's been comfortable. And even if you put Cornet up top and try something different for the pace, but he's coming over to speak to Russell Martin now. He might make a change with it, we'll have to see.
Matheus Fernandes has
getting them all
been booked. He's been booked as a result of the challenge that he inflicted on Senesi, and Senesi is still down getting treatment, and that has given Russell Martin the opportunity to call his players over and give them a bit of a talking to, and it might be a little bit of a tactical restructure, Danny. They might well flick things around a little bit.
The one thing, Sam, whether you play two false tens, whether you play a 9 up there, whether you play, it doesn't matter how you play, you've got to get the ball into your creative players quickly. And what I'm seeing with the two central midfield players, Downs and Ugochukwu, is an inability to play round the corners quickly and have a picture. Take a touch, whoom, through the lines. Be brave, risk the ball from central midfield. Don't keep giving the defenders the responsibility to make the passes that you're in midfield to make. It's a very easy thing to do, so you don't look bad, but you never look good because you're just playing those safe ones, 10, 15 yards. To be fair, Ugochukwu went on a great run early in the game. after some good play, but that's all we've seen from the midfield boys. They've got to just get on the ball a little bit and be a bit more productive with their passing.
Well, there is perhaps a little bit more than just points at stake for Southampton tonight. There is the future of Russell Martin under the microscope constantly.
Do you think that's real?
I don't necessarily do, but the local press and the supporters are constantly talking about it because of the fear that if they continue, and you've said it, I mean, you said it a couple of times, if they don't end up changing the way they play, then they will end up conceding goals and not getting the points that maybe they need to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he's done a wonderful job getting them up here. We're 5 games in. Let's give him some time.
Listen, I'm telling you,
we've seen today that they've mixed up their game a little bit. Started the game the better team.
It would be an odd decision because they've obviously got promoted with him. They've employed him to play a certain way. They've got up into the Premier League. They've recruited for him. To dispense with him would be a little bit odd at this stage. But there has been a change in the organisation above him.
Right.
He was recruited by Jason Wilcox, who is now at Manchester United. Here on the far side is Milos Kerkesh, taking it on for Bournemouth. Comes infield, midway inside the Southampton half, gets it to Christie, then back to Kerkesh, and then just a little bit over-eager to play the ball down that left-hand side to Ouattara when there was no real room to do so. It goes out of play and away for a goal kick to Southampton, 1-0 to Bournemouth. Their style is in vogue. They're ranked 4th most for possession, but I know, Danny, that tonight they've been a little bit different to that. And against Ipswich there was a little bit more flexibility when compared to previous games. They seem to be more eager to clear the ball up the field. They previously might have passed it in certain situations. I
like what I've seen tonight. It has been a change
again tonight.
Yeah, it's adapted. He's mixed it up, Ramsdale, nicely.
The one thing they do lack a little bit of, especially at the back, is a bit of leadership. Harwood Bellis and Bednarek a little bit too timid, I think. They have Aaron Ramsdale, who's a lot more vocal. They need that. Flynn Downs is very good at leading by example. But it's quite a young team. Bednarek to take the free kick, just short of the halfway line. And Downs has it. Then back to Bednarek. The pole goes back to his goalkeeper. And then it's forward by Ramsdale into midfield. Good ball into Fernandes. Turns and then runs through the centre circle. Out wide to Taylor, who then tries to help it back down the touchline for Fernandes to chase. He gets hold of it in front of Zabani, who's come right out of central defence to follow him. And when he has come out of central defence, because he's following the sort of number 10 that is Fernandes, Cook has gone to fill in. Downs has gone on to run through the middle, and Southampton in possession take it wide towards the right. Sugawara with a ball which needed to be absolutely perfect to find Cornet. Didn't. It was cleared by Kerkesh back to his goalkeeper. And it goes right up to Evan Nilsson, who holds it brilliantly off his chest and then brings Tavernier into play. Out further wide to Semenyo, who canters up to the edge of the penalty area right side. Then puts the defender on his backside. Comes back on his left foot. Sets it back for a Cook. Takes a deflection and in.
Offside.
Bournemouth score a second goal. Well crafted again. There is the accusation of offside, and they are just waiting for VAR to check it, and that's why the celebrations are a little bit mooted.
I think they've given it.
But there's every chance here that Lewis Cook has got his second goal of the season. His first one, a surprise header at Everton at Goodison Park. This one, a very well crafted move. Kepa Arrizabalaga up to halfway, chested down on the left hand side by Evan Nilsson, sent it to Tavernier, further wide to Semenyo. He went past Charlie Taylor, then set him down and put him on his backside, set it up for Cook, and there it was into the net.
Ouattara was
I think it might be Ouattara who gets the final touch here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was a deflection off the back of his heel.
But I think initially they were saying Ouattara was in the eye line of Ramsdale.
Which he was, but he wasn't offside.
But he wasn't offside, yeah. Brilliant move, though. The only thing I would say from Southampton's point of view there is why is the centre... Why is Harwood Bellis not going in to engage Evan Nilsson when that ball comes from the goalkeeper? Surely he's got to be there, ready. He's brought it down on his chest and turned.
Well, that goal has gone down as a Ouattara goal.
Yeah.
He knew absolutely nothing.
Cook was fuming about it. I saw him.
It was the tiniest of little deflections. Listen, it was significant because I think it might have wrong-footed Ramsdale. But
yeah, Cook didn't catch the ball very well, did he?
No, but it was deflected and it did go in. And as a result of that, it is 2-0 to Bournemouth. Now, this is a big problem now for Southampton and for Russell Martin.
Yeah, I think for all the good start, their lack of a figurehead. I mean, if you look at the 2 goals, Evan Nielsen, centre forward on the shoulder for the free kick, quick thinking, scores. Big boot from the keeper. Evan Nielsen chests it down, brings it down, striker. You need a focal point in your team, and he's got 2 of them on the bench.
Yeah, and Southampton are not using one. They're playing 2 number 10s, and really, an 18-year-old and a kid that's only just come into the league who himself is only 20.
He's got 3 on the bench. He's got Armstrong, Ross Stewart, and Cameron Archer,
and Brereton Diaz. He's got 4.
Yeah, but he plays more wide generally. Yeah, you could in a 4 strikers. Yeah.
He hasn't always played wide, has he? I mean, he's
that's true.
He's the top scorer for Blackburn back-to-back seasons.
I just don't like you being right.
Well, and there was you telling us earlier on that you remembered that you made a mistake a year ago because it was the last time that you did it.
Yeah, that was called a joke.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Forgot how funny you are.
Irony.
We haven't had a Monday night football for
a while. Yeah.
It's delighted to have you back there. Here is Ugo Chukwu, although saying that you've been doing Monday nights and I've been not.
Yeah,
because you've been in the studio.
Although you work hard, mate. Come on. You're allowed a night off.
We try. 10 minutes to go before half-time. It's Bournemouth 2, Southampton 0.
It's a mountain to climb for them now, Sam.
It really is. And I wonder how they're going to change it, because I think they'll have to be radical at half-time. Because 2-0 here, if you were to lose heavily at Bournemouth, you're finding yourself in a really sticky situation. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of generosity of spirit towards Russell Martin if that is the case.
What do you mean by radical? Because radical to you is normally 2 pints in a game of pool on a Saturday.
Yeah. That sounds ultra radical, actually, to be honest.
Do you mean from a defensive point of view, or trying to get back in?
No, I think they need to get back into it.
Yeah.
And I think they need to probably be a little bit more assertive and have Archer, Brereton Diaz on from the start of the second half, and maybe take those 2 boys off, or just rejig it slightly. I mean, Cornet's hardly touched the ball.
He hasn't. I mean, Ross Stewart's a physical presence as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's hardly played any football over the last 2 years. Ball down the right, taken by Semenyo. It's played against him and out of play on this near side for
Taylor struggled with him, hasn't he?
I was a bit surprised. Again, and we mentioned it beforehand, Carl Walker-Peters, who he's a right back really, but he's been playing left back for so long he's almost turned into one.
And he's super quick.
Yeah. Taylor shrugging his shoulders and shaking his head, and that seems to be the way of things for Southampton, because they're losing a little bit of confidence here after a bright start.
Yeah.
There's 9 minutes to go. Long throw to come in from Semenyo on this near side. This is a place where things can turn magically. Just ask Luton. They were 3-0 up at half-time in a game against Bournemouth and lost 4-3. So things can happen here that don't happen anywhere else, but it's going to be a hell of a comeback if Southampton manage to generate one from here.
You talk about corner. I mean, Fraser's done nothing in the game either. The 2 wide men have not got involved at all.
Smith throws the ball in right side. Tavernier back to Christie, and then Semenyo almost snuck down the right touchline. There's a little deflection on the way through. It's going to be a corner to Bournemouth away to our right-hand side, and they've lost the energy that they had in the first 10 minutes of the game as well, Southampton, after Bournemouth weathered the early storm, struck through Evan Nilsson, and then got a second through a Lewis Cook deflected effort off the back of the heel of Dango Ouattara. Here is the corner kick to be taken by Marcus Tavernier. On the near touchline, he's got Smith in close attendance, just about 10 yards back from the quadrant. There are 5 to aim at in the centre, and it's back to Smith, and then on to Cook, who'll sweep this towards the far post. It was a good delivery as well, and Senesi trying to keep it in. Does
a brilliant ball from
manage
Cook
to hook it back into a dangerous area before it's away, but Cook's got it back again. What a touch! Just shifted it out towards his right, and Smith, and now it's on to Evan Nilsson. Back to Smith once again, right side into Tavernier. They're keeping the ball well now, Bournemouth. Cook to Kirkesh, and then back to Zabani. 2-0 the score to Bournemouth on Talksport. Tavernier approaches Fernandez, tries to play it wide right, gets dispossessed, and Ugo Chukwu takes it on and tries to move forward. But Christie's so good, again. Hounding and pressing. He's a pressing machine. Is the 50-cap Scotsman Ryan Christie. Fernandez got to be a bit careful not to lose his temper. Semenyo did have Smith to go on the right-hand side. He's kept hold of it well. And then he's turned past the defender. Right. What a goal by Semenyo! Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. A lovely twist and a turn, and he fires the ball low towards the goalkeeper's right. He took out half the defence and netted into the far corner, and it's 3-0 before half-time to Bournemouth. And the Cherries are crushing Southampton.
What a great goal, Sam. Such confidence, such quality, calmness, belief in his ability, great movement on the ball. Nice little chop. Pretending he was going to shoot, coming inside on that left foot, pretending he was going to shoot, switches it onto his right foot, takes a little touch, sets himself, buries it in the bottom far left corner. I think it's been a good decision to leave him on that right hand side and play Tavernier in as a 10. I know we talked earlier, didn't we, about him maybe playing as that 10 where he could get more chances on goal, but when he's had such a good start to the season, leaving him in that position where he's comfortable.
Only Erling Haaland has had more shots than Semenyo in the Premier League this season. And now he's racking up goals as well. It's a third goal of the season. And Russell Martin is looking like a man who wants the ground to open up and swallow him. It's 3-0 before half-time. And there's a big problem here for Southampton. Here is Senesi. Losing possession, taken on by Dibbling, trying to release Ryan Fraser. And actually, I thought after, it was 1-0 at the time, after the injury to Senesi, I thought there was going to be a slight change because Russell Martin called everybody over.
Yeah, and there wasn't.
A real discussion with them, but all that's changed is that Bournemouth have got more and more opportunities.
Well, there's no system change, is there? There's no personnel change either in terms of people swapping positions.
Evan Ilson holds it brilliantly, and then that's a late challenge by Maxwell Cornet.
I have to say, for all the observations, the first and third goal were two wonderful bits of play.
Yeah, superb.
Really brilliant bits of football that have really hurt Southampton.
That's super football from Bournemouth, and they are more than in the ascendancy here. And if they don't end up winning this game from here, it'll be
a good game,
a major surprise. We've seen it before, but
I don't know about you, but I think I'd be amazed if there wasn't a couple of changes half time.
No, it'd have to be. I mean, I feel sorry for him because I'm looking at him now sitting on the touchline. He's literally on his haunches down on the edge of his technical area, Russell Martin.
Well, he's got to get his lads going. He's got to find a solution, have a good second half, try and get back in the game, make some changes, impact the game. It's his job, you know.
I wonder if he'll also take responsibility for the fact that
probably
he hasn't maybe selected the right team tonight with the two number 10s playing as the furthest men up the pitch.
I think that's what the fans will probably go to rather quickly because of the quality he's got on the bench, but he live and die by those decisions. He's trying to find a win, he's tried something different, it's not worked for him, and now they are really climbing Everest. I just don't see how they're going to get back in the game without leaving themselves more vulnerable at the back.
3 minutes to go before the conclusion of the match, and it's Bournemouth who lead by the conclusion of the half, and it's 3-0 to Bournemouth. What would you do if you were him in the start of the second half? We'll ask you that in just a second as Ouattara bursts down the left. Across comes Sugawara and stops him from going any further. Downs plays it in. Oh, he's had it pinched by Cook, and then Tavernier can't steer it forward. What would you do?
I'd probably make 3 or 4 in one go, 3 in one go. I'd bring Lallana on for his experience to try and get some control in the middle of the pitch. I'd certainly bring 2 of the 4 strikers on, whoever's been training better and looking sharp, and I might even bring Kyle Walker-Peters on and try and get him to do a job on Semenyo because he's causing so many problems. But you could argue on Ouattara is on the other side as well. Maybe I'd be making a point to the players, irrelevant of the final result. I'd be saying I'm not happy with it. You 3 off, you 3 on, and show everyone you mean business.
Well, both boxes has been a real issue, and that's a fundamental that has to change. Scoring goals has been a rare feat for Russell Martin's team. They are the most goal-shy team in the league this season. Their goals, Sugawara at Brentford and Dibbling in the first 5 minutes against Ipswich, have yielded a total of 1 point. And the way they play, I suppose they will always concede. They had the worst defensive record of the top 4 in the Championship last season. They haven't quite got the worst record of the Premier League so far, but they could end up going bottom tonight if they end up getting beat by one more goal.
Up until the goal, they hadn't been troubled too much. But then their confidence dropped after the goal. The two wide boys for Bournemouth are electric. They've caused the two fullbacks. The two fullbacks Southampton aren't capable physically of matching the two wide players of Bournemouth, which is a hell of a bad place to be starting from.
Yeah, I think Southampton will drop to the bottom of the table if the result stays as it is at this moment in time. And that's a real problem. It's not a great look after 6 games. Chested down over on the far side by Tavernier. We've got a minute to go before half-time.
And who have they got next, do you know?
The next game is at Arsenal, away from home. And then Leicester.
I hear someone laugh in the background.
And then Man City away.
Come on, Mr. Durham, have some sympathy.
Stop laughing, it's not nice. What happened to the joyful, empathetic Mr. Durham, eh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
3-0, it's Talksport. Ball is at the feet of Kepa Arrizabalaga, and it is Bournemouth who have the advantage here. And there's a bit of soul searching to do in the Southampton dressing room at the break. Arrizabalaga has it back at his feet. His feet are clad in bright orange. Here, the rest of his body is in a grey goalkeeping uniform, and his hands are bright orange as well. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. I bet Russell Martin just wants to get him in.
Yeah, he will. And I'll tell you what, irrelevant.
Oh no, they've made a mistake, and Semenyo has got the wrong side of Taylor, and he's got a little bit fortunate there, Taylor.
Irrelevant of how this game ends up.
Oh, Ouattara's won it back before Sugawara can clear. Ouattara causing him a bit of an issue. He gets out of a tight knot, and then Kirkesh engages on the far side. Ouattara's going to win it back again from Cornet. And then Cornet comes back, but Ouattara has turned away from him. He's got possession towards Tavernier. Lovely curling ball to the edge of the D. Still Bournemouth come once again. Smith has it. Oh, it's a poor ball by him, and Fernandez should be able to clear. Free kick given.
I was going to say he's going to see the yellow card there. He's going to see the characters he's got in the team.
Who was the yellow card for? For kicking the ball away?
For shooting after the whistle had gone, yeah.
Oh.
I think it was Cook. Or was it Tavernier? Let's have a look. Tavernier.
Oh, no.
Silly one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to see who's with him second half. He's going to see the character of some of these lads. Who wants to have a go? Who wants to do the yards? Who wants to do things properly and really try and be competitive?
Oh no! They're giving the ball away into the penalty area. Christie tries to chip the goalkeeper, blocked by Taylor. Back down the right it goes for Christie once again. It can't get worse before half-time, surely, can it? Here's Smith on the near touchline. Back to Zabani. Bournemouth don't want the half-time whistle.
Ramsdale's got to go long there. It's a minute to go. You're 3-0 down.
Bournemouth 3, Southampton 0 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. And right now, there's quite a few needs for Russell Martin and Southampton. Ramsdale almost getting himself in a spot of bother just before the half-time whistle. Ball is on halfway with Ryan Christie. He's had a good first half.
Brilliant first half.
Kirkesh clipping it down the line. It's a little bit too heavy for him, and then it comes back via Cornet, but it's going to be won by Christie again. Turns it over, charges forward. He's got options to his left-hand side, and Evan Nilsson is waiting on the edge of the penalty area. He's decided to go through the box there. It was the wrong ball.
Well, I think Semenyo should be there. It's another great ball from Ouattara. I know it looks like the wrong ball, but your wide man should be in on the back post. Yes, the pullback was on, you're right, but also your wide men should be naturally, as soon as that ball goes, I'm in.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they'll be delighted if they get in at 3-0 now. just get off the pitch without conceding another one. Another corner to come in here.
Flynn Down's got to do better. He lost out on a 50-50 again, completely dominated by Christie.
Bournemouth with the wall towards the near post, flick behind by Ugachukwu. That's going to be the end of the first half. They're not going to take that. And there's a few boos from the Southampton fans at half-time, and I can understand why. Both these two sides came into the game desperate to put a win on the board for the Cherries. A first home victory of the season would be reward for a largely positive start to the campaign. And it looks like that's going to be the case, especially seeing as they're 3-0 up at half-time, thanks to goals from Evan Nilsson, Ouattara and Semenyo. Saints struggling for points, struggling for confidence, struggling for wins, are behind at half-time again. At the break, it's Bournemouth 3, Southampton 0.
And Southampton beaten already, barring some sort of miracle turnaround that I don't think anybody will be predicting based on that first half. And we talked about Southampton playing out from the back. It wasn't really about that. That's not why they're 3-0 down. Every single goal you can analyse. Saints not switched on for the free kick. The second goal, they're on the attack, poor pass, trying too hard to force the issue. All of a sudden, they find themselves outnumbered the other end. And then that third one from Semenyo, Ugachukwu was sent dizzy by Semenyo for that one. I want to talk first of all, Danny Murphy, about how brilliant Bournemouth have been, because apart from the first 10-15 minutes when Southampton were on top without really looking like they were scoring, by the way, Saints haven't had a touch in the opposition box. Literally, the stats are they've not had a touch in the opposition box. Bournemouth, after that early, can't even call it a storm, can you, a little bit of a downpour, Bournemouth have been brilliant, haven't they?
Well, they've grown in confidence and everyone's just bang at it now. They started with, I think they got a little bit thrown by what Southampton did, a little bit confused, and then a couple of them were off with their touch, so gave Southampton a bit of confidence. And then they worked it out. You know, okay, if they're not going to, we'll still press when we can, but they're going to go long. We need to make sure we get on the ball and start playing our stuff. And as soon as they started feeding the wide men, they started having joy. But the turning point of that first half was just a brilliant bit of football. It was a wonderful, creative pass from Tavernier, the quick free kick I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the run off the shoulder. I know, I used to do this a lot, the quick free kicks with strikers, and you talk about it before you play. Just say, look, always be ready, especially the first one. Those two had that conversation because it was so off the, everybody was surprised us all. They'd been working on that, which was great to see. But the finish, and I got to mention the ref again. How many times, because it's a yard out of place, do we see the ref go, no, they weren't ready. Two players nearest to the ball had their back to the ball for Southampton. And then as soon as that goal went in, you could see the energy drain from Southampton, and you could see everybody, all the Bournemouth players wanting the ball, they bang at it again, believing in themselves, and then it was just attack after attack, and the two fullbacks they're having a really tough evening.
Oh, they are. And when I think about the spine of Southampton, I think there's an issue there. Dibbling is a teenager. Ugachukwu is 20 years old. He's been torn inside out in this first half. He's had a shocker. I think he'll go off at half time. And Harwood Bellis is only 22 at the back. That's the spine of your team. And it's hard for younger players to come back from disaster, to come back from setbacks. They haven't got that experience of doing it like senior players have. And then you look at the senior players. Ryan Fraser's been absolutely useless. I'm being kind to him. He's been absolutely useless. If he comes out for the second half, I'll be majorly surprised.
Do you know what, though? I mean, Downs is the captain. I've seen him lose two tackles that were 60-40 in his favour. He's played backwards 80% of the time. Show some responsibility. The young lads need you. You know,
the kid alongside him, Ugachukwu, needs Downs to drag him up.
Started all right. He did a couple of nice things, but when you're playing in a team where you're one of the more senior players and the more calm ones, if you like, the one who should be showing example, you have to, even when you're losing, you have to keep getting on it and helping and talking, and with your play showing them that it's okay to just, you know, keep getting on the ball and being strong mentally. But I'm not sure they've got enough quality, Aid, looking at this performance. Look, let's just get to the other bit as well. He's made a decision to play two number 10s and try and catch Bournemouth out by getting the two number 10s to drag the two centre halves of Bournemouth to come in on the two 10s and get Fraser and Cornet in off the wide areas in that space. It's failed. So that's fine. You make a decision sometimes to try and mix it up and it fails. You spot it at half-time, you've got to get some strikers on the pitch. You've got to threaten the goal.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's 4 strikers on the bench. At least 2 of them have to come on.
If 2 of them aren't on, I'd be gobsmacked.
Okay, so Sam was talking about Radical at half-time. He's obviously gone for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's fairly radical for him.
It is for him, yeah.
Radical in terms of Russell Martin is a couple of strikers at least. Anything else?
I'd be tempted to change the system and go a 3-5-2. You know, to get 3 centre-halves who all want to defend properly and defend their goal. 2 strikers on. You could bring anyone off, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody could argue, really. I'd be getting the 2 strikers on, and I'd probably bring Walker-Peters on to try and pick up Semenya and just follow him and see if he can do a job on him, because he's causing so much problem.
That Southampton dressing room right now, there's going to be words had, no doubt about it. They started okay. It wasn't brilliant, but they started okay. But then Bournemouth just completely took over and Southampton could not cope. It's not about playing out from the back.
No, but they have fallen into that in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's been a couple of errors.
Yeah, they are falling into that trap a little bit.
But Southampton just cannot handle the pace and the power and the quality that Bournemouth have got going forward. We said before the game, this is the sides that, coming into the Premier League weekend, had the 3rd highest number of shots in the Premier League this season. The goal tally didn't match that, but now, tonight, it's starting to look about right as far as Bournemouth are concerned. They've been brilliant. Saints have been awful. Second half to come, live on Talksport.
Monday game night on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream more Sky Sports football than ever before. Available with no contract on now. Like Bournemouth versus Southampton live today. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
Hello, I'm Bedroom. Remember me? I used to be your favorite room. The first room you wanted to show off to all your friends. Now I'm a mess, hidden from sight, covered in clothes. But all is not lost. An IKEA wardrobe, lamp and rug would turn this forgotten place back into your favorite space. Create the bedroom you have always dreamed of. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
The Philly cheese stack is back at McDonald's. 2 beef patties, crispy and grilled onions, cheddar cheese, all topped with a melted cheddar cheese sauce. What could be better? How about playing the Monopoly game with a Philly cheese stack too? Yes, please. Until 15th of October from 11 a.m. Participating UK restaurants. Subject to availability. 18 plus. App may be required. See mcdrules.co.uk.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Football is back and it's game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in 60 minutes or less. So, whatever the job, you can do it with less faffing and more fixing. Less driving, more drilling. So don't Don't break your stride. Screwfix Sprint. Order now exclusively on a Screwfix app. £5 delivery charge, no minimum spend. Don't stop. Sprint. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
Monday game night on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Colossal commentary on a Monday night. Join us in the promised land of the Premier League.
Absolutely outstanding.
This is game night on Talksport.
Well, no surprise, at half-time Southampton have got plenty of their subs warming up. In fact, all of them. They're all out there now warming up. But first out was Ben Burton Diaz, Cameron Archer, Ross Stewart, Joe Rebo. All out there. Carl Walker-Peters has joined them. Adam Armstrong has now joined them as well. They're all out there warming up. They can't all come on, but we shall see what happens in the second half. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ hacker lets you down. Pre-match straight line hackers only. Odds of 3-1 or greater. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Yeah, half-time. It's Bournemouth 3, Southampton 0 right now. You can get Bournemouth to win at 1 to 500. The draw is 50 to 1, and a Southampton win is 125 to 1. Good luck with that. Evan Nielsen to score a brace was 11 to 5, now 5 to 2. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeatGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Danny Kelly's Trans-Euro Express is now available as a podcast, where Danny Kelly is joined by European football guru Andy Brassel as they take you on a journey through all the major stories across the continent. You can listen to it now on the TalkSport app or via your favourite podcast platforms. I listened to the show live last night, 9 o'clock, TalkSport, and it was superb. Filled you in on all you need to know ahead of the Champions League all week, including Harry Kane's little knock. He was taken off in the Bayern Munich draw with Bayer Leverkusen ahead of Bayern Munich away to Aston Villa Wednesday night live on TalkSport. Tomorrow night live on TalkSport, Arsenal host PSG in the Champions League, and Mikel Arteta has been giving his thoughts ahead of the time.
Well, everybody's looking forward to it. We missed it for a number of years, and last year it was the first one after so many years that we had the experience to do it. The group stage is a bit different this season. The opposition we're going to face tomorrow is probably at the highest level that you can find in European football. But honestly, it's a great opportunity for us to see how we deal with that night, how prepared we are, and how we can impose ourselves in this kind of context.
Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager. Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, then Champions League, live on TalkSport tomorrow night. I'll be your host from 7 o'clock. Sam Matterpace on commentary with Darren Bent, the former England striker, also on commentary. And the Arsenal legend Emmanuel Petit will be on drive with Andy Goldstein before the game. I must tell you that Russell Martin is already out, and he's sitting in the dugout looking at his subs as they warm up. He's lost in a world of his own thoughts right now. And Danny Murphy, what do you think those Russell Martin thoughts are right now?
He's probably a bit bewildered and a bit bemused by the incompetency of some of his players' performances, because even though the tactical plan hasn't worked, some of the defending has been woeful.
Dreadful.
Yeah.
They basic stuff as well,
exactly,
you've got to say. Aribo, Ben Burton Diaz and Ross Stewart are coming on for Fraser Cornet and Ugachukwu. No surprise, the two wide men, you called it, the two wide men, Fraser and Cornet, have done absolutely nothing. Ugachukwu, you were right, created something early on in the game with a barnstorming run down the left, but after that he got dominated in midfield. There was a 4 against 3 that Bournemouth didn't score from, where he and Downs are just chasing back. When I say chasing, they were ambling compared to the Bournemouth players.
To be honest, I don't know, sometimes you have to set the tone with the group. I wouldn't like it if I was captain, but I'd have left the young lad on, because at least he's physical, and let him run through it and try and make an improvement. Second half, I'd have taken the captain off.
Well, Southampton are on their way out for the second half. Those subs will be confirmed very shortly, but there was little doubt he was going to make changes, Russell Martin. The Cones are out there doing a little warm-up before the second half. The Saints players in those lemon shirts, as those who are coming on stand on the touchline. Ben Burton Diaz pours some water all over his head. He's desperately in need of a goal. Saints are in need of somebody with a hat-trick at least tonight. One wonders if that's going to happen. Bournemouth on their way out as well, and they will be confident, but We were here for that game last season when Luton were 3-0 up at half-time. Bournemouth came back to win it by 4 goals to 3. It's the flip of that Southampton need, but you just can't see it happen. You can't see Southampton scoring, never mind scoring 4. As I said before, they haven't had a touch in the opposition box, Southampton. Never mind an effort at goal or on or off target. They've been atrocious in terms of the attacking intent. And a reminder, those games that they talked about in the first half on commentary, those games coming up for Southampton, away to Arsenal and Man City, and in between, they're home to Leicester, who beat them 5-0 and 4-1 last season, hammered them 9-0 at St Mary's 5 years ago in the Premier League. Good luck, Saints. You're going to need it. You'll need it in the second half here as well. Bournemouth 3, Southampton 0. Second half live on Talksport with Danny Murphy and Sam Matterface.
Yeah, second half just underway, and Bournemouth shooting from right to left in the second 45, and Southampton from left to right made 3 changes. Those changes: Brereton, Diaz, Stewart and Joe Aribo, and Cornet, Ugochukwu and Fraser are on. Here's Semenyo picking the ball up on the edge of the penalty area and going down the left side of the box and trying to take on Harwood Bellis. He twists away from him and then turns back towards the corner flag and then guides it all the way back to Lewis Cook and keeps possession again. And Danny, those changes really, actually, when I wrote them down on my sheet of paper, Stewart aside, because Stewart hasn't played that much football, but that looks a lot more of an experienced team than the one that was fielded from the start.
It does, but I'm still really surprised that he's only got one up top. He's trying to stop the rot a little bit, I suppose. 4-5-1.
Yeah, well, Brereton Diaz will play on the left-hand side, dribbling off the right, and Stewart through the centre. They'll then have...
Fernandez has struggled, really struggled, and he's a young lad as well. Surprised he's still on.
Here is Kirkes down the left-hand side, looking to link with Ouattara, cut out this time by Harwood Bellis and taken towards the near side, where they eventually slalom up the pitch towards Ross Stewart, who is tall, he's long, he's lean, hasn't played too much football. In fact, it's been a very long time since he felt the feeling of hitting the back of the net.
I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I did look at the bench before the game and think Lallana, Kyle Walker-Peters, Aribo, players like that who've got a lot of experience.
Well, Aribo's played in a European final.
I know.
Kyle Walker-Peters has played for England, so has Lallana. And Ben Brereton Diaz has got a huge number of caps for Chile now. Here he is on the ball, and he's just played it a little bit too far in front of Ross Stewart, and it's cleared away by Senesi and up towards the halfway line. I'll go through the 11s in just a second as we start the second half, but Tavernier has got the ball, wrestling with Aribo. Aribo comes away with it. The back four for Bournemouth in front of Kepa Arrizabalaga is Smith, Zabani, Senesi and Kirkes, Cook and Christie, Ouattara, Semenyo and Tavernier, and then Evan Nilsson up top. And then Ramsdale is the goalkeeper for Southampton. Sugawara, Harwood Bellis, Bednarek and Taylor. Downs and Aribo now holding in midfield, with Stewart leading the line, and Fernandez just in a number sort of 10 position or an extra midfield position, dribbling on the right hand side, and Brereton Diaz from the left. Here is Stewart, couldn't quite find Fernandez, back via Zabani to the goalkeeper. So it's 3-0, and the mood in the press room amongst the Southampton contingent was pretty downbeat. One of them walked in and went, that was good, wasn't it? And I don't think the Southampton supporters who have made quite a short journey down the south coast are going to be particularly happy if it stays like this.
I mean, you're playing away from home, desperate need of a result, and arguably your most competent, experienced midfielder. Well, you brought him to the club for a reason, Adam Lallana, who set up the goal at the weekend, I think I remember correctly.
Yes, he did. He created the goal for Dibbling.
Surely he plays, doesn't he?
Well, we said it beforehand. This is a game that they should have targeted for points, because they're taking on a team.
Well, they did. They just did. They targeted it in the wrong way.
Here is Downs, fed by Stewart, out towards the far side. But like we said, if you're going to target a game for points, you use your most experienced and better players rather than the ones you hope can produce. You know that those guys have produced in the past and have got the likelihood of doing so in the future.
Well, away from home as well, there's a big difference, because you need to have real courage to get on the ball, even if things don't go your way and you go a goal down. You've got to calm everyone down. Good play.
That's Fernandez knitting the ball well with Sugawara, playing it out wide to Dibbling, who takes it on and tries to go past Kirkes, then waits for the foul. That's going to be a yellow card for Kerkez and a free kick to Southampton at the start of the second half from this near side. Bournemouth themselves have been on the end of the right end of a turnaround in the Premier League this season. They were 2-0 down for large spells against Everton and won the game 3-2 with just 3 minutes to go, so they won't be taking anything for granted.
Can't make a tackle these days without it being a yellow card. There was just nothing sinister about it. It's just a tiny fraction too late, honestly.
Dibbling and Sugawara standing over the free kick, which is taken almost exactly in line with the edge of the penalty area on the wide right-hand side, and it will be Dibbling left-footed to send the ball towards Harwood Bellis, and it's a great save by Aretha Balaga, down to his right to fingertip the ball wide of the goal. Great cross from Dibbling, good header by Harwood Bellis. Back in it goes, in towards Harwood Bellis. They're not stopping this one. It bounces off the turf and past Aretha Balaga, and Southampton are back in the game. 6 minutes into the second half, Bournemouth 3, Southampton 1. Taylor Harwood Bellis, who just moments beforehand had a really good header, stopped by Aretha Balaga, has this time steered it beyond him and into the back of the net. It's 3-1.
Sloppy play from Bournemouth, great ball in. First one, good save, but then the second one comes in, actually flicked on by trying to see who that's flicked on by.
Christie, I think.
Christie, yeah, that's right. And then the flick by Harwood Bellis. Didn't make a mistake the second time, back in the game. What did we say half time? 125 to 1?
Well, Harwood Bellis with his second goal of the season. He scored against Everton in the Cup, and his second goal is an important one. Sugawara now complaining that the foul that he has just been guilty of perpetrating shouldn't have been a yellow card, but he's got one anyway. So we've had two dished out very quickly there by Michael Oliver, the referee. We could get a second half full of fun now for the neutrals. This could be a cracking watch.
Just what the doctor ordered for Southampton. He wanted a reaction. That's what he'd been talking about half-time.
Well, Danny, they've given away a free kick now in the same area with which they created that chance, which then led to the second chance and the goal at the other end. So now what they don't want to do is concede straight away to Bournemouth, who have this free kick, have placed it down on the left side. Right-footed, deep one towards the far post. There's an easy one to catch for Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. And he wants to get it up quickly, but that was inaccurate from him. I think he was a little bit disappointed that Ross Stewart didn't get up quick enough to try and win that.
Oh, what a save.
Great turn by Tavernier. Tries to play it down the left side of the box. Emma Nilsson stands in his way. Comes back to Cook. It was a great save from Aretha Balaga for the first header from Taylor Harwood Bellis. And by the way, what a delivery into the box by Tyler Dibbling.
Was a really good ball, yeah. He was in Oceans as well, though, wasn't he? Very lax defending that from a set play.
No, he took the first one, then he was the free kick, and it was Fernandez who put the second ball in. And it was both deliveries really good. Here is Ouattara trying to get in behind. Harwood Bellis away. Forward by Downs to halfway. A touch away from Christie. The ball goes out on the near side. It's away for a throw-in to Southampton, who are back in the game. 3-1. Could they turn the tide? Could they come up with a spectacular comeback? The Southampton fans, you can hear at this moment in time, trying to get behind their team. Christie with a ball into Evan Nilsson. The back heel doesn't come off, and Fernandez will take it clear. He runs up towards the midpoint of the Southampton half, releases Joe Aribo. Out wide now to Ben Brereton Diaz, who left side of the pitch comes in from the touchline, then sends it to Charlie Taylor. A chance to cross. Ball. He does. In towards Ross Stewart, who gets up and heads the ball goalward, but the former Sunderland striker can't get enough purchase on it. He got underneath it and went over the top of the crossbar.
Intensity's better, isn't it? Much more urgency about Southampton, which you expect when you're 3-0 down. If you can't get some urgency and some fight when you've come in at 3-0 half time, then you're never going to get it. So, but he'll still be pleased with the start.
What did they call him up at Sunderland? Did they call him the Ross Ness Monster or something like that? That was his nickname. He was a hell of a goal scorer whilst at the Stadium of Light, but injuries have robbed him of a couple of seasons now. Here's Kertes being chased by Tyler Dibbling, and Dibbling is going to get a yellow card for breaking up a promising attack, and then another yellow card coming out. I'm not entirely sure who the second one was for, but Dibbling certainly got a yellow card there.
I think it was Harwood Bellis, but I'm not sure.
Well, it must have been for arguing, mustn't it?
Yeah, complaining, and I don't know.
But it has generated yet another Bournemouth free kick. I think Southampton just got to make sure that they don't try to rush things here, because if they get misshapen, they will find themselves further behind again, and then that really will kill off the game. 3-1, Southampton dragging themselves back into within 2 with a goal from Harwood Bellis, but now defending again. It's a decent free kick, that taken by Tavernier, arcing away from goal, but there might have been a bit of pushing which the referee wasn't too fond of, and it's going to be a free kick on the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, we've got a game on our hands now, and certainly there hasn't been too many wins for Bournemouth in matches with Southampton here. The last Bournemouth player to score a winning goal against Southampton here, Benik Afobe, in March 2016, and Van Dijk was in the Southampton defence that day. That was the first ever top flight meeting, which at the stage was called plain old Dean Court. The Vitality, as it is now.
Good play.
And
Flynn Downs who got the other yellow.
Flynn Downs. Here is Brereton Diaz onto Aribo down the left-hand side, gets to the corner flag as he attacks for Southampton, tries to reverse it into Brereton Diaz's path. It goes out of play, and the Southampton fans are liking what they're seeing, a little bit more impetus from those substitutes. A thumbs up from Russell Martin. Another goal makes it really interesting. That's Flynn Downs almost giving it away. Then they win it back. Fernandez sends it wide. Brereton Diaz runs at the defender, gets into the penalty area, tries a shot right-footed. He bends away from the goalkeeper and goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Good numbers in the box. Much better, much more dynamic, bit of urgency. Don't think he makes the right choice here, trying to shoot from a really difficult angle when they have 3 numbers in the box, 3 players in the box. Bournemouth a little bit lax. I think they'd come out classic when you're 3-0 up, you're not quite at the races, and then they score, and all of a sudden there's a momentum shift.
Some big fixtures to come for Bournemouth as well. Leicester away, Arsenal at home, Villa away, Manchester City at home. The two have got very similar fixtures actually over the next few matches. Arsenal, Leicester, Manchester City and Everton the next 4 for Southampton. They've also got Wolves and Liverpool before the end of November. Referee's got in the way of the ball being played forward, which means he's going to give an uncontested drop ball, but that was a bit of a shame really, because it might have got through to Ross Stewart, and then they were playing inside the Bournemouth half of the field, Southampton. Here is Bednarek on halfway. Back to Harwood Bellis. The pressure goes on. Fernandez is beaten to it by Christie, and then Christie with a heavy pass down the left-hand side. The ball goes out of play. Well, the atmosphere has changed inside the stadium, hasn't it?
Well, they've got a bit of hope. I think fans always turn up at away games. They just need a bit of hope, something to support and hang on. Bournemouth fans trying to do their bit now as well.
Well, the Vitality has certainly changed over the years. It's a very different ground, even from the one that first came into the Premier League. Certainly changed since Danny Murphy first played here in September 1996. Remember that game?
Was that for... No, I don't. No, sorry.
Crew Alexandra in the 3rd tier.
Really?
Still a teenager. He played 90 minutes.
Was that 4-0?
It was 1-0. You got booked.
I remember beating Bournemouth 4-0 down here. I remember scoring in that one. I don't remember the 1-0. Did I score?
You didn't score, no. Somebody else did though.
Sav.
It was Robbie Savage, yeah. Got the only goal in that game. 1996. What were you listening to in 1996? E17 and Gabrielle?
Gabrielle, I was a fan of. Probably a bit of Bob Marley back then.
Were you?
Yeah. Bob Dylan.
It was the year of Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison. Here is Tavernier with a free kick. A lovely ball towards the far post. Clipped away by Harwood Bellis. Back in it goes again from the right side. It's blocked by Southampton and cleared to halfway. Also the year of Alanis Morissette.
A bit of Wham as well. It would have been a bit of Wham.
1996 is not Wham.
No? 90s?
Do you know, George Michael did have a number 1 with Fast Love that year. Here is Evan Nilsson trying to run in behind. He's got the better of Harwood Bellis. It's gone out for a corner away to our left-hand side.
Oh, maybe it was 80s Wham, is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah,
84, 85, 83,
all right.
that sort of time.
You knew as much about football as you do about music. We'd be on fire.
Coming up to 60 minutes on the clock. It's 3-1 to the home team. They're about to take a corner away to our left-hand side. Cook to take it in towards the near post, flicked away by the first defender, which was Ross Stewart, and put out the other side, then away for another corner over on the far side. I wanted to get in.
Good defending.
For Gina G and Who Are Just a Little Bit was also the Eurovision entry that year. Another goal here for Bournemouth would certainly generate them the points. Here is the corner on the far side. Cook to take it, left-footed. He'll swing it in towards the near post, and Ramsdale comes and clears it. Comes back out to Kirkes, who hits it over the top of the Steve Fletcher stand, and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side.
He whips in a great ball, doesn't he, Tavernier? Useful.
Off comes Dango Ouattara.
Yeah, I see that.
And on comes Justin Kluivert. Change for the Cherries.
Looks like Tavernier might come out to this left-hand side, and Kluivert. Although Kluivert can play wide as well.
Yeah, he has been playing as the number 10.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Little high five. Tavernier goes to the left, and Kluivert will go just behind Evan Nilsson. Semenya will stay on that right-hand side, and it remains 3-1 to Bournemouth. You're listening to Talksport. And we're live here at the Vitality Stadium with Sky Sports, and don't forget that you can stream more Sky Sports football than ever before, available now with no contract on now, like Bournemouth versus Southampton live right now. Search Now Sports.
I am surprised when Bournemouth do press the keeper. They are winning 3-1. They did leave 2v2 then at the back, which was
risky.
Something you don't need to do when you're winning a game comfortably.
It's game management, isn't it? Aribo out towards the far side, trying to trick his way past the several challenges, and does well to hold on to it, Joe Aribo.
Done all right, hasn't he, since he come up?
Yeah, and that's a good ball by Fernandez to release Downs. And Ross Stewart's ball actually wasn't the best option. It went back from the centre of the Bournemouth half, but Dibbling has found Sugawara. They're back on the front foot here. It's just a bit behind Ross Stewart and Brereton Diaz. It's cleared away by Zabani, and out on this near side and away for a Southampton throw. They've got a bit more about them in this second half. Certainly made it more interesting than I thought it was going to be, actually. I thought it might be a bit of a killer.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a good reaction.
It's a good reaction, and they'll deserve credit for that. But finding themselves 3-0 down in the first place probably isn't going to afford them much generosity unless they get closer to Bournemouth in this second half. Ross Stewart holds off Zabani, who might have committed a foul. Evan Nilsson's pinched it, and now Kluivert trying to turn it round the corner, finds Semenyo, who picks it up for Bournemouth, angles towards the edge of the big area, comes in on his left foot. He's going to try one again. It's blocked this time by the retreating Charlie Taylor. But Bednarek was involved in that as well, and it goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area.
They've actually got the bodies on the line a couple of times, Southampton, to block shots much better than they did in the first half. Like they've had a right kick up the backside, and some of them have been told they need to improve and quick. It was better defending, that was.
Well, a win tonight, and Bournemouth's start to the season will be regarded as a decent campaign beginning. They might have only won one game before tonight, drawn two, but I think they can take a lot from their performances, and they can take a lot from this game as well. It's a high ball into the box, which was dealt with by Taylor, picked up by Cook right side. His ball out towards Kluivert, and then back to Semenyo, then down towards Kluivert again, and Taylor has to come across, commit to make the challenge. It goes behind. I think it's going to be a goal kick, this. Well, the assistant on the far side gave that.
Don't think he had a clue.
Fans aren't happy.
Don't think he had a clue.
It's
corner.
Definitely a corner.
Yeah, he just guessed. Brilliant.
Good run by Aribo, who takes the ball down and past Cook. Shoots into the opposition half and then plays it to Brereton Diaz. Back it goes to Bednarek. And the Bournemouth defence is a little bit fragile. They can suffer on transitions despite some promising signings over the summer, which has been made to stiffen their defence. They've only kept 2 clean sheets in the last 15 home games, make that 2 in 16 now.
Well, it's hard for them to keep clean sheets because they really play on the front foot and try and press teams. So you're going to leave open spaces, and you can't have the best of both.
Should they be doing that now?
It's a difficult one. I think at the moment they're okay, but if they were to concede another, I'd be thinking about being a bit more pragmatic. They still look dangerous themselves. Semenya probably feel like they can score another.
Twisting away, playing the ball to Kluivert, who gets to the edge of the penalty area down the right side, delivers across to the back post. Waiting there is Tavernier. Didn't hit it first time, centred it instead. Semenya was arriving, but he had company, and it takes a flick of a Southampton body and goes behind and away for a corner kick away to our left-hand side. Lovely little turn from Semenya to start it off. Played it down the right-hand side for Kluivert, who got to the edge of the penalty area, brought it back through the box with a little clip over the top towards Tavernier. He then teed it up to Semenya. It went wide.
Another classic example of the opposite wide man not being in on the back post, because if he's in, he gets a volley or a free shot on goal. Something that they need to work on a bit, actually.
Lewis Cook to take the corner from this near side. Another right-footed delivery, which will be an in-swinger. He steps up, right-footed, in towards the near post. It's flicked away. And Brent Brereton-Diaz will win the header, but he's then got to go and chase it down, and he's not fast enough to get there, and Senesi is. And he steers it back to his goalkeeper, Arida Balaga. Andoni Iraola was talking about being more clinical, needing to be more clinical.
Good head.
He said that yesterday. He knows his team create chances, but they're not finishing enough of them, and that might well be the case. If this game turns, they'll be worried about that. Fernandes from Murillo's pass. Southampton turn it over. It's picked up by Brereton-Diaz left side. Back into Fernandes again. On towards Ross Stewart. Does get there, but didn't get there first, and then it's sort of come through kindly to Adam Smith, who's pushed it out towards the near touchline. But Sugawara's putting pressure on Tavernier, and then Kirkesh has got to try and get it clear. Can't quite do so, but does find Tavernier, and then Emma Nielsen turns, and there's space to play on the far side. Kluivert leaves it for Semenyo, and then they've got a man joining in, Smith. They've got to get back quickly here, Southampton. Semenyo running at the fence, gets the ball into the centre, gives it to Kluivert, right-footed, blocked by Bednarek, and then Aribo is fouled by Semenyo.
Good defending again. It was the wrong choice actually from Kluivert. They had bodies. Just keep working it, wait till they find the overload.
Talksport Monday Night Football. Tomorrow night PSG against Arsenal is live on this station. Wednesday night Bayern Munich against Aston Villa from Villa Park. A rematch of the 1982 European Cup final, which has been such talked about in the build-up to this season's Champions League activity with Aston Villa. Thursday night, Manchester United play Porto in the drag-out. Ramsdale forward found Brereton-Diaz. Fernandes back to Taylor, who's come in from that left-hand side to make an extra man in midfield. Up to halfway they come with Dibbling now, cutting infield, getting away from Kirkesh. Needs to release it, but ran into traffic. And Cook robs it and runs forward, and he runs quickly forward and feeds Evan Nielsen, edge of the area, right for his shots down, straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, Ramsdale.
He did just enough there. I think it was Bednarek.
It was a good move, though.
It was a good move.
And it all came about because they gave the ball away. Dibbling picking it up, cutting infield, running into a sea.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen when you play that way. He's a dribbler. He commits people. You're going to lose the odd one.
Fernandes coming off, and Adam Lallana is about to come on, so another dose of experience. The average age of this team's probably gone up 10 years since the substitutions took place. Free kick taken on halfway. Downs has it for Southampton. Out to Bednarek. 69 on the clock. Brereton-Diaz. Back to Charlie Taylor, and then all the way to Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale takes it towards the edge of his penalty area, tries to play it up to Stewart, gets pushed in the back, and he should really try and take this quickly. He does, and Brereton-Diaz wants it put in behind, and it almost worked. It was shut down by Senesi, who
He's made a difference, Stewart. He's given them a focal point that we talked about they didn't have in the first half. Held the ball up quite well, and been someone they can play off and look towards with the longer balls as well.
Well, He is looking for his first Saints goal, restricted by significant injury problems since joining Southampton in the summer of 2023. His last goal actually was back in January 2023 against Middlesbrough. Lallana on, Fernandez off, and a bit of a discussion going on about where he wants everybody to be stationed. Go to a three-man midfield. Maybe Flynn Downs will go a little bit further forward now. Just try and maybe lead a little bit more of a press. See what happens as the ball's picked up by Semenya, then Cook. Bournemouth have it over on the far side. Aaron Ramsdale, away to our left-hand side, is not having a happy return to the Vitality Stadium. It's not a great header by Harwood Bellis, and Emma Nilsson has picked it up. And then he does a little trick to hold on to the ball on this left side for Bournemouth. Bill Foley, who is the American owner of Bournemouth, very ambitious. He will want the club to build on last year's impressive first season under Iraola. The stats have been good. The numbers don't give you points. And they're on their way to 3 points here. Here is Tavernier, wrestled with by Harwood Bellis, who comes off better in that duel. Flynn Downs, Sugawara, Lallana, a flick by Downs, overplaying again. They're giving the ball away. Won it back. Sugawara down the right-hand side, looking for Ross Stewart, holds it up into the corner, tries to play it against the defender, but he did take the last touch. It's out for a throw-in down in front of us, away to a couple of steps to our right-hand side. What have they got to do to try and create more opportunities? Because since the goal, actually, they haven't created another one.
Just keep taking risks, keep trying to get the ball forward, take people on, get numbers in the box, try and get up the pitch a bit, keep a higher line if you have to. But committing men more forward as the game goes on is inevitably always the way to try and cause more problems. See how now they're two at the back because they push men up.
The danger, of course, when you do push up and try and take a risk, you leave yourself a little bit more exposed, and you may end up conceding a fourth goal. But there's no choice here. You've got to do something to try and win the game.
Well, it looks like in a way they've got it's gone to a 3 there. The ball sees that
out towards the far side. Lovely ball sent out to Brereton Diaz, who takes it down, moves towards the angle of the penalty area. Again, overplaying, unnecessary. Tried to backheel it into Charlie Taylor. There was a simple, more effective ball that he could have played. He didn't, and they lost possession for a second. They've won it back with Lallana, onto Downs, then Dibbling. He's 20 yards back from the edge of the D in the dead centre of the Bournemouth half. Slid to Downs and then back into Brereton Diaz. It hit his space, comes to Aribo inside the box, goes on the outside, gets to the bar line, steers it into the centre, flicks away by Senesi, up into the air and out on this near side. Southampton have got it again and they're putting pressure on. Dibbling takes it up towards the edge of the box, takes on Kirkis, threatens to go on the outside, then comes infield, gets it across the edge of the 18-yard line, pokes it to Aribo, back outside, there's an overload. Harwood Bellis with a cross, and Rida Balaga comes out and fists it away, and the ball runs out into the right full-back position, and Semenyo says anywhere will do.
Good sustained pressure, good attack from Southampton.
It's good football, and Dibbling had a big impact on that, didn't he, by dribbling the ball into the centre, then handing it off to Aribo, switched it immediately. Good tackle. It was a good tackle from behind by Senesi, and he's nabbed it off Dibbling, and now Tavernier has sent it wide out to Kirkesh, edge of the penalty area, decent cross away by the retreating Bednarak, and now won by Aribo, and they're trying to pour forward again, and I saw Adam Lallana turn around to everyone and say, get forward.
This suits Southampton because Bournemouth, when they attack, they're throwing men forward as well.
2 balls on the pitch, and Brereton Diaz had to tidy it up. Here is Lallana, who takes it infield, gives it to Sugawara, and then back to Aribo. They've kept possession well here. Charlie Taylor out to Harwood Bellis. Brereton Diaz wants it played in behind. Ross Stewart is running in between the right back and the right centre back in Zabarnyi. Now he's lost Zabarnyi once again and just dropped off slightly, always on the move. Here's Lallana, who's found a pocket of space. Flicked it out to Dibbling. Dibbling now dribbles up towards the edge of the penalty area. Finds Lallana inside the box. Lovely little body swerve. Didn't quite come off for him. But Brereton Diaz is there. And at the back post, Sugawara coming in. And across came Kirkesh and got in front of him and covered for his defence, who were unpicked there by Southampton's persistent pressure.
Great pass initially from Dibbling. But a bit all over the place, Bournemouth. The amount of men Southampton are committing forward now is causing Bournemouth all sorts of problems.
Enis Unal is coming on for Evan Nilsson. It's a straight swap in the next few minutes. That's about to take place away to our left-hand side. 15 minutes to go. 3-1 to Bournemouth on the south coast. It's Dibbling who takes the corner. It's not the best of deliveries, but Brereton Diaz is going to get there first. It's going to be recycled this by Downs and then Lallana. Lallana to Downs, left side, about 10 yards outside the area. It's picked up by Brereton Diaz, who sort of miscontrolled it, hit both his knees and somehow managed to retain possession. Sugawara lifts it out towards Dibbling. Dibbling kills it. Good ball by Sugawara, who's gone on to receive a pass, but they might not get it to him. Dibbling's done well to squeeze it through a tight gap. Sets it back towards the edge of the D. Lallana with an effort. Leaning back, and it went a yard or so over the top of the crossbar.
I love his he was just falling back there, Lallana, but I like Dibbling's decision making. When he's got two of them, he's looking up thinking, I can't take them both on, must be someone free. Bang, punches the pass in, finds the spare man. Really like him, looks a player.
Enis Unal is on, and off goes Evan Nilsson after his first goal in Bournemouth colours. And on comes Alex Scott to replace Tavernier.
They've got. This is when you're winning a game like this, but you're under pressure. You need to get some passes in and not worry about going forward. You need to calm the game down. That means slow down free kicks, get some extra passes in the midfield. You can look to go forward, but then you go back, and then you just drop the tempo of the game. Then when they come and press you really high, then you can do a few long. But at the moment, it's end to end. It's basketball. Bournemouth have just got to calm themselves and get some passes in. Hence the fact I think he's brought Scott on.
He's put Alex Scott into the midfield and replaced Tavernier, and he's brought Enis Unal, who only just came back from the injury that ruled him out of the Euros, and he is going to go and play up top instead of Evan Nilsson. It'll be interesting to see what happens next, because they were struggling really to get Scott into the team. He's a gifted footballer, but I think his intensity and work rate aren't there like Christie and Cook. Here is Semenyo out on the far side. The ball rattled into him by Cook, but he couldn't take it in.
I mean, why is Cook going into the box? Just keep your position with your central midfield pal and win the game. 15 minutes left. Don't go ahead of the ball.
Cameron Archer's come on for Tyler Dibbling, and they've made a change as well. Here is Sugawara into...
Find that a strange one.
What, taking Dibbling off?
Yep, I really do.
Has left him a little bit light on this near side as well.
Well, it's not just that, it's his productive passing. He was finding the right passes.
Yeah, well, he was conjuring opportunities, wasn't he?
I mean, there should be oceans of space for Bournemouth on counter-attacks now. They're playing three centre forwards.
Here is Archer, dispossessed by Senesi. One back by Harwood Bellis. Senesi then gives it away again. Cameron Archer fighting for it. It breaks on halfway to the left-hand side.
That's what I'm talking about.
Scott, lovely touch. Turns it into midfield. Senesi back out wide towards the left. The low ball in by Kirkesh. Stabbed away by Flynn Downs. Back through the box it goes. Don't know what Harwood Bellis was doing, but he gave it to Aribo. Away by Taylor, and then Brereton Diaz to Aribo. They need to get it clear here. It's on the left side of their own box, and eventually they can't keep it with crisp passing, and it goes out of play and away for a throw-in over on the far side. And we've got just 12 minutes to go, and I think after a bright start to the second half, I think Southampton and Russell Martin would have been thinking they might have got one or two more opportunities here. They haven't created maybe enough, one or two, yeah.
At least he's had a reaction. He really has had a reaction, and it's not going to be enough, probably, we'll see, but at least he's seeing some impact.
Enis Unal down the right side, low ball into the near post, caught by Ramsey. Yeah.
Even that cross there, poor decision. He's under no pressure. Just come back, play. Keep the ball, you're winning the game. I'm amazed by some players' decision-making in games. It's just complete lack of intelligence. It's not experience, it's football intelligence. Two different things.
Who should be imparting that, though? Should
me? I'd be screaming if I, sorry, not me, I'm not on there.
Because you forget for a second.
Yeah, middle of the pitch, centre midders. Keep it. Come in, come out, turn out. The right back, whoever. Everybody should be communicating with each other.
Aribo on the cusp of the centre circle.
He's done well since he
has. He's made an impact. Again, sort of raises the question why he wasn't in the team for the first place. Lallana on the half turn, gets away from Christie, tries to get away from Senesi. Gone with a real battle. He thought he should have had a free kick there, and Lallana's furious that he didn't get one. It's poked out to the near side, and Scott leads the Bournemouth charge, coming forward away to our left hand side. He moves up towards the edge of the area, cuts in on his right foot. He plays it back towards Cook. Cook plays it down the side of the penalty area into Semenyo. Semenyo with a shot which is blocked by Taylor and goes out for a corner.
Yeah, it's better. Still seeing Bournemouth players flying into the box from all over the place to try and get a goal. And you can admire it on one hand. I just think game management, when you're 3-1 up, I'd be having my 2 central midfielders stay, my 2 centre halves, and only ever 1 fullback going when you're winning by 2.
Michael Oliver just having a quick word with Adam Lallana, because Lallana, I think, is still upset by the fact that he thought he was fouled by Senesi and he didn't get the free kick. Michael Oliver is explaining to him why he didn't give the free kick. They're still arguing.
What's the point? We've all done it, but it's gone, isn't it?
I was going to say. Here is the corner in towards the near post, away by Ross Stewart. Good, strong header away. Alex Scott gets it back. Back out wide towards the right, and Cook again with the delivery. Back away again by Ross Stewart. Collected by Zabani, and Bournemouth are in possession here. And here is Christie. Out wide it goes. Infield towards Enisu now.
Better.
Wider. On to Kirkesh. Back infield to Christie. Keeping possession better now. 81 on the clock. 3-1 Bournemouth. All the goals coming for Bournemouth in the first half. The Southampton goal coming 6 minutes into the second, but it hasn't generated the kind of comeback that Russell Martin craved when that first happened. Good use of the body by Kluivert to out-muscle Harwood Bellis. Get to the edge of the penalty area. Reverse point to Kirkish. Down the left side of the box. Tries to get the cross in. 2 defenders go towards him. It spills for Scott. Awful. Scott's shot is blocked by the defender. Then comes back towards the edge of the box, and Christie's strike is only narrowly wide of the right hand upright.
Should have been done. Kluivert started to move with a good bit of strength, and then he didn't really make a good pass. Difficult one. Ends up coming out, doesn't it, for a shot there by Christie, and good strike, but just a few inches by the post. Still just about in this, Southampton.
Yeah, only 8 minutes to play. So if it's going to happen quickly. Here is Lallana trying to turn. Back from Downs to the edge of the centre circle, but that was a good chance for Bournemouth to really kill off the game. Actually.
Yeah, it was.
He didn't do that, and it remains, well, still in sight for Southampton. Probably nothing more than that at this stage. Here's Brereton Diaz chasing into the corner, and then drawing what he hoped was going to be a foul. It wasn't. Michael Oliver not falling for it.
See, that long ball from Southampton there was a 3v3. The 2 Bournemouth centre-halves and the right-back against 3 Southampton strikers, because the left-back, Kirkes, was so tired from doing an overlap on an attack before that he couldn't get back in. And that's the little details. He didn't need to be making the overlap when Alex Scott was on the ball. He didn't get it anyway. It was an 80-yard run. And then look at him. He's
still blowing now.
Yeah, he's still blowing. But why give yourself that problem?
Aribo trying to get down the left-hand side. Again, it's come off Christie, but not given as a throw into Southampton. And they're getting a little bit frustrated now over on that far side. Southampton, who haven't got any points away from home this campaign, are going to be struggling again here. And they're off to Arsenal next weekend. That doesn't usually end up yielding teams points when you go and visit the Emirates. Leicester at home, then Man City away, Everton at home, Wolves away, Liverpool at home. That's up to the end of November for Southampton. Good ball for them to chase through Cameron Archer down into the right corner of the Bournemouth half. Archer turns away from Senesi, then plays it centrally to Lallana. Lallana clips it into the box. Archer got there, didn't mean to intervene. Downs keeps it alive. It's half cleared. Aribo with a shot is blocked by Christie. Downs trying to keep it in possession for Southampton. It's steered forward by Harwood Bellis, but it's a poor ball. And then one by Semenyo. And if he releases the ball to Kluivert, they're in trouble here. It's too heavy, but Kluivert's going to get there anyway. He's kept it in and then keep the ball. And he runs towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got numbers inside the box. They want to kill it here. Kluivert down the left into the area. It bounces kindly for Semenyo. Doesn't get the shot away. It's blocked in the end by a Southampton defender, and they hack it clear.
Still think you should keep the ball there. Maybe this part. What is it? 4 or 5?
5 minutes to go.
Yeah. I know what forwards are like. They want a goal, don't they? I do understand it, but because Southampton have tried to get back in. You know, they've done a lot of yards this second half, and so they should. There should have been a reaction, but they're tired now as well.
I got to say, if Semenyo's ball was better, he would have been in.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
He got far too excited and sent it too wide. Tomorrow night, Arsenal PSG live on Talksport. Slovan Bratislava against Manchester City is on Talksport 2. Aston Villa Bayern Munich Wednesday night. Liverpool Bologna is on Talksport 2 the same evening. Ferencváros Tottenham is on the Talksport 2 network from 5:45 on Thursday. Porto Manchester United at 8 and Chelsea Ghent at 8 on Talksport 2. All the football all the time. You know it makes sense. This is Talksport. Here is Downs into Stewart, back to Downs again. Downs looks up. Everybody now in Bournemouth colours behind the ball here, apart from Kluivert, Hunis and Al. Aribo's got time to pick his pass forward. He gives it to Brereton Diaz. Cut back to Harwood Bellis. Out wide it goes to Sugawara. He turns it infield, gives it to Flynn Downs. Controls it, waits, teases, didn't get the ball into the box. Comes back to Harwood Bellis. Brereton Diaz tightly packed on the edge of the area of the Bournemouth defence. Not a great ball by Brereton Diaz. Eventually finds its way to Aribo. Wider still onto Taylor, who gets the cross, but it's defended straight into the body of Semenyo.
See, in those situations, we see it a lot where the ball goes right to left, to left, to right. Someone has to be the responsible one to try and make that pass.
Well, it's take a gamble, isn't it? You've got to take a gamble and try and find the pass.
Well, it's a measured gamble because you play pass to keep moving the defence, and then you clip one in, or you play one through the, down through down the sides of defenders. Someone has to take that risk. Down should have done it then.
Lallana to Sugawara.
I mean, now Sugawara's on this right side instead of Dibley. I do not know.
Well, he's supposed to play as a wing back, isn't he, really?
Yeah, but he's not producing it. Well played.
Cut out by Scott. Given to Christie. Bournemouth trying to get up the pitch. It's a poor ball by Kluivert. Turned it over.
Right ball,
Diaz.
That's where your striker should be.
Anderson now still coming back from his long-term injury. Here is Flynn Downs up to Ross Stewart, out to Sugawara. Someone's got to put the ball in the box here. They're just keeping the ball. You've got to try and make something happen. Lallana, then to Downs. This is possession for possession's sake, isn't it? Aribo, back to halfway. Harwood Bellis comes forward. Lallana trying to turn, gets away from Christie, moves in advance of him, free kick.
Didn't need to. When you're defending a lead, you do not need to go ahead of the ball or ahead of the man. You just keep him, let him do his twists and turns right in front of you.
Listening to Bournemouth 3, Southampton 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps 120,000 people every day. Bournemouth have scored 4 Premier League goals in the final 10 minutes of matches this season, the joint most with Manchester City. In fact, 4 of their 5 Premier League goals before tonight had all come in the final 10 minutes of games. But they're defending here in the final 2 minutes of the match at the Vitality Stadium. Aribo and Sugawara over the free kick, which is 15 yards back from the edge of the penalty area, wide on the right-hand side. Sugawara into the centre. It's headed away by Christie. It wasn't a good free kick. Going to make a substitution here, Bournemouth. They're going to bring on Sinistera and take off Semenyo.
You know, when we do commentating and we use people's surnames.
Yeah.
Why do you... Why do you use Ross Stewart's full name every time? I'm just curious.
I think with some players you just naturally do.
I know, it's strange, isn't it? Strange one.
On comes Luis Sinistera.
No, you know. Come on. Is it because it sounds like Rod Stewart and you've been on the music buzz tonight? Is that what it is?
Oh dear. Ball down the right for Sugawara. Don't say his full name every time he gets the ball. It's to do with syllables, really, I think. Yukinara Sugawara.
Stewart, really difficult, that one.
I didn't say it was difficult, did I? It's like Lallana is 3 syllables, Ross Stewart is 3 syllables. It sort of works.
Okay. No, I hear you. It's good answer. It took a while, but...
It was completely made up. Here's
there it was.
Windmay inside the Bournemouth half. Plays it on to Ross Stewart, who turns the ball out towards the right side. Sugawara takes on the defender. Goes on the outside. Can he produce a cross? He can! In towards the near post. And Stewart wraps his foot around the ball. It took a deflection. It's out for a corner. There'll be 4 minutes of added time.
I think he'd be a little bit disappointed, Iriola, on how they've managed this second half. It's not been relaxed, has it?
I don't think it ever is with Bournemouth, though.
No,
is it?
that's
I mean,
true.
you go back and watch those games like the Newcastle game. They were in control of it and ended up drawing the match. And there was a chaotic end to that match. They tried to win it right at the very end.
4 minutes. Kirky's ain't even looking at the ball. They've got a corner because he's got cramp his side. He's not even looked at the ball yet.
Sugawara to take the corner kick right side. It's an outswinger aimed in towards a vacant centre of the penalty area. There's no yellow shirts. And there was huge disappointment on the faces of the Bournemouth, the Southampton defenders who'd come up from the back. Aribo, they've stayed in there because there might be a second phase here.
It's got to go in.
Downs looks up, plays it to Lallana. He then tries to steer the ball centrally, takes on a player, picks the ball and tries to clip it forward and then gives it away, and now it's 3-on-3 and the counter-attack is on, and Enisu now is running forward. He's got Luis Sinistera going through the centre. Sinistera picks it up now, left side of the area, wanders into the box, right-footed, delivers the ball to the far post, saved by Ramsdale and eventually cleared by Archer. It was a chance.
It was, and it was a good move.
Stewart back to Sugawara. 91 minutes played, so just a couple of minutes still to play at the end of the game.
Senesi's good on the ball, isn't he, when he comes out nice and calm?
Yeah, he's a good defender. He actually was dropped for the Liverpool game and has come back in tonight.
Not a bad one to get dropped for if you're a defender, to be honest.
6 games, still no win for Southampton. Here is Lallana trying to get to the edge of the penalty area. It's only the second win that Bournemouth are going to fashion here over Southampton in the league since 1960. Downs. Ross Stewart. Harwood Bellis.
The 11:15 train back to Southampton
now
has been cancelled.
Oh dear, what's out of order?
Stewart into Brereton Diaz. Archer's waiting inside the area. It's towards the back post. It misses him and doesn't sneak through to Aribo. Comes back to Taylor. Taylor pokes it down the touchline. Aribo's going to get there. He's going to draw a foul, is he? No, Sinistera didn't foul him according to the referee. They're furious about it, those Southampton fans who've just found out that the 11:15 is cancelled. Back to Southampton. God knows when the next one will be. Probably 11:15 tomorrow morning. Crikey, it's only 45 minutes down the road. It's going to be a nightmare journey home. That's the worst thing ever, isn't it? You've come 45 minutes down the road. You've been smacked up by the closest team to you in the Premier League. You've had half a response in the second half, and then just before you're about to go home, you think, oh, at least we'll be home early.
Yeah.
And then they cancel the only train. Semenya gets the man of the match. 3-1 the score. Into the final seconds now. Southampton trying to push for another goal. It might be too late now, even if they were to get one, for them to get anything from this game. A game that was taken from them in the first half by good Bournemouth play. Harwood Bellis to Lallana into the centre. Senesi is there again. Manages to clear it. Blocked by Harwood Bellis. He's fouled. That's going to be a free kick, and it's about 15 yards back from the edge of the area left side. Well, the thing about Ross Stewart is he is actually massive, isn't he? So he is someone to aim at when the ball goes into the box.
He's done all right. Subs have done all right for Southampton. They've seen a reaction. At least you expect when you're 3-0 down, but at least he's got one.
Stewart is at the far post. The ball is aimed towards Aretha Balaga. Plucked out of the sky by Sugawara. Poor delivery.
Too safe.
And that's, I'm afraid, going to be the last action of the night. It's going to be a disappointing trip for Southampton and a more difficult one on the way home. You can have your say with the boys on the sports bar. 0371722 3344. That's the number to call if you want to get in touch with them tonight. In the clash of the cultures, it is Bournemouth's high-pressing Cherries that crush the strategy-strangled Saints. Russell Martin doesn't believe in a plan B, just making plan A better. Well, he showed a little bit of variation in his play tonight, but it's becoming abundantly clear that the plan, whatever it is, needs to come together and come together quickly. That first half performance was a chastening one. Bournemouth win their first game of the season and go above Manchester United in the Premier League table as a result. For Saints, they remain thankful that they scored that goal in the second half, because just on goal difference, they are narrowly off the bottom of the table. It's finished Bournemouth 3, Southampton 1.
Russell Martin applauding the fans. He's gone over there already, applauds them. I mean, they're just fed up because the train's been cancelled and it is the last train as well. How on earth they're going to get home? Danny Murphy will give you a lift. Don't worry, plenty of room in his car. Next train is at 12 minutes past 5 in the morning.
Is it?
Yeah, you got room in your car, haven't you?
So have you, haven't you?
No.
It's interesting just looking at the Southampton fans responding. There's a few who stayed to clap the boys and the manager, but there's a lot gone. I think they'll be frustrated at the start of the game. Not because they fell into the same old trap of getting caught from playing out, but just in inferior in terms of technical ability, physical, matching the runs of the wingers, the switching off, the concentration on the quick free kick. Premier League football, you can't make mistakes like that. Switching off on quick free kicks. You can't make mistakes being left one-on-one, isolated with really quick wingers. A lot to work on for Southampton.
Well, he's picked the wrong team, hasn't he, to start with?
Yeah.
He's got to own that. He can talk about the second half being better, but by then Bournemouth were already 3-0 up. So I don't think there's a huge amount of positive Southampton can take from that second half, even though, as Sam rightly pointed out, that goal means they're not bottom of the table. Wolves stay 20th in the Premier League table. But he's got to, if they're going to have a chance of staying up, he's got to get the team selection right. He's got to get those tactics right as well. And he's got to learn to do it quick. He's learning fast. He's a Premier League rookie as well.
The thing is, Aid, if you're going to win games, you need... I mean, look, on this bench, he had Armstrong, Ross Stewart, Berrett Diaz, Cameron Archer and Paul Anachuchu, who's a striker as well. He's got 5... What are you looking at? He's got 5 strikers on the bench, and he played 2 number 10s, a midfielder and a young winger.
Strange.
It was a strange one. And the other thing is, let's be perfectly honest, you need a bit of experience away from home in the Premier League, especially. Now, in any game, experience is key. Lallana, Walker-Peters. I mean, 2 lads who've played international football, you're desperate for a result. They're going in my 11 before I even start thinking about tactics.
Well, bear in mind, Bournemouth haven't won at home before tonight.
Aribo, as well as you said, played in the European final.
Absolutely, played in the Europa League final for Rangers when they drew with Frankfurt but lost on penalties. I think the other thing with Lallana, he said that the last game against Ipswich, he couldn't play Lallana the whole game. He only could last 60 minutes, so he took him off, and they lost that know-how when he went off. I think what he wanted was for them to get in a good position, either level or only just behind or whatever, then bring Lallana on in this game. Obviously backfired because they're 3-0 down before they've even brought him on. So with Carl Walker-Peters, there is a contract issue going on as well.
Which I understand, that's fair.
But you've got to make a decision, play him or don't play him.
I think the biggest thing is, if you're going to spend a good chunk of your money on strikers, or in your squad be heavy loaded with strikers and give yourselves options, you've got to start with one. Physical presence. You need a physical presence. And more so when you're actually going longer more. Now, I'd understand it if you're going to play out constantly and not hit any long balls. 2 number 10s ain't a bad idea. But actually, they made a conscious decision to go long more often and played no number 9.
Yeah, weird. Ross Stewart on there from the start. He might have been able to hold things up, play other players in.
So you're at it now?
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah. But then, let's just make that clear. This defeat wasn't about Southampton playing out from the back. There were other issues for Southampton and big issues.
I agree
as well. Should it lead very quickly on this? Should it lead to a discussion and pressure on the manager's position?
No, not for me. Not yet. Not yet, because they're 6 games in. He's trying to find a way. Obviously, the changes tonight we've already talked about. It was wrong, and I'm sure he'll probably say that. I think when you've got a team out of the Championship into the Premier League, you've got to be given some time. You've got money in the bank. You've got to be given a little bit of time to adjust yourself, as the players do as well. You can't just go 6 games in when he's done. I think that would be really
They knew what he was going to do. I mean, they gave him a new 3-year deal not so long ago. So, I mean, to make that change now, I think would be premature. But as I mentioned beforehand, there's already been talk and whispers about it in the background. And unfortunately, in the Premier League, owners, especially owners that haven't had great experience, and obviously we know that these owners haven't, they managed to turn a club that were doing quite well in the Premier League and take them down within about 9 months of taking over the joint, then they sometimes get a little bit trigger happy. They panic.
But they, as Aid said, they didn't lose the game. They got a foothold in the game early on by changing. What did them was a lack of nous and switching off with the quick free kick. It was brilliant. Then they were a goal down and they didn't adapt. They couldn't respond. Bournemouth got better and they went into their shell a little bit.
Their lack of experience meant they couldn't recover from the setback.
Yeah,
they went down.
Yeah, and that's where a Rebo, Lallana, Walker, whoever.
If you're a board member, you're looking at the bench going, "Well, experience let us down. So why didn't you select the experience?" That will be the question.
And that's a fair question. Absolutely right. That's a fair question. We must also talk about how good Bournemouth were as well. You can have your say. Saints fans who are walking back to Southampton because the train has been cancelled. We feel for you.
Unbelievable.
Please, if you want to listen to the Sports Bar, you can have your say as well. 03717 22 3344. But time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Danny Murphy, I'm assuming it's a Bournemouth player.
It is. I mean, there was some good performances. I thought first half, Semenyo was outstanding. Evan Nielsen got an assist in the goal, credit to him. I thought Senesi was great at the back, but for an all-round performance of a mixture of all aspects of midfield play, I'm going to give it to Christie. I thought, especially in the first half where they needed someone to grab hold of the game and get on the ball, he always does his defending well. I mean, he does his work off the ball is terrific, and even in the second half he was bang at it. He was trying to do his work and make sure they stayed in the game, and not stayed in the game, kept their lead, I should say. I just think he's crucial to them in the middle of the park. I think he's outstanding, and today was a great performance.
Yeah, we talked about the two in midfield, Cook and Christie, and Christie gets you nod. But the wide men as well played really well. And a lot of that first half was about why Bournemouth are not going to be in relegation danger this season and should be pushing for a top 10 place at least.
Absolutely. They got game changers in their team.
Yeah.
They have. They've got players who can really hurt you even when they're not playing well. Even if they change for half an hour and went, I don't think they will, but more pragmatic, they can counter. They can really hurt you. So I'm not worried for Bournemouth. I think they will, on occasion against good teams, get beaten because they're trying to win games and they are leaving themselves open. We saw that at times, even in this game.
Great to watch, though.
Great to watch.
Yeah.
And the fans here enjoy it. They'll cause teams here, especially, problems. I think their fans are in for an exciting season.
Yeah, and so far it's been exciting as well. You're 2-0 down at Everton with about 3 seconds left and you win 3-2.
Yeah.
And here tonight, the boss the first half really put on a show. Taverniers quick free kick. Evan Nielsen getting his first goal. The £40 million striker Semenyo twisting the opponent's left, right and centre before firing home. Some really good football from Bournemouth. They got the 3 points, and it is Ryan Christie, our man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.